And hello, everyone. Welcome back. We'll actually just jump right over here to our awesome players here. So, welcome back to this other episode. I don't know what I call this. The Blue Collar DM Plays, I guess, is what we'll still call it until our adventurers here eventually come up with a name for their party. So a couple of announcements before we start off, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a precursor if you're new or anything like that. We actually have a way that you guys could impact the flow of battle or the flow of the game, as it were. Somebody actually already did earlier. Actually, they gave me a -1 to my roll, which I totally appreciate. But basically,
thanks, guys.
Yeah. So basically, with channel points, you can actually, and I monitor the chat as we're kind of going through everything, as to the best of my ability. There are times when I have to kind of like, the chat's all the way over here. But anyway. If you guys give up and use those channel points, you actually can add a +1 modifier to a character of your choice, even myself, or 300 channel points to take a -1 modifier to a player of your choice. Again, even me, so that's up to you. Also, if you guys want to donate bits, we actually have a system set up so that way if you guys donate 100 bits, you actually have an advantage to the next roll for a player of your choice. And then also we have this Blessing of the Dice Gods, which is 500 bits and actually gives you the ability to grant inspiration to one of your favorite characters. Now, it doesn't work for me, which I don't really think I need inspiration for my guys. So that's it's all for those guys. It's all to benefit them. So if you want to see one of your players get inspiration for their next important role, go after it. Also, we still do have that one-on-one coaching for dungeon masters or prospective players that have never either played the game or just curious about the hobby. That link is down in the little About Me section. There's a bunch of different kind of stuff down there, including gear that I use for this stream, my book recommendations, all that kind of stuff. There's links all in the little panels down below that you guys can check out for all that kind of stuff. Also, in relation to gear and some other things, we actually are looking for artists for not only any art that you guys want to share on the Discord, which again, there's another link down there, but we actually are looking to see if we can't find an artist to help us with some t-shirt designs and stuff like that. We have some designs, but I myself am not an artist, so if you guys are interested in doing that, we'll definitely work together to kind of figure out a way to kind of make it work for all of us, and also share your artwork with the rest of the world here on this channel. Looks like I have to drop a hammer on somebody here in about 5 seconds, but we'll get to there in a minute. Let's start off with Ashley. What do you guys got going on over there at Are You Sure You Want to Do That?
So much stuff, Howie. So we have Icewind Dale coming up soon. Our session 0 is tomorrow, and we're gonna probably start doing that here in the next couple of weeks. So we'll have all that up here soon. I'll put the Twitch and all that. But on something that we already have going on, every Sunday at 8:20, we have the Empower Hour. It's where me and our DM, Gil, sit around and we bitch. That's what we do. That's the whole essential thing of it. And then on Tuesdays, we're going to be starting Damsels and Hags, which is going to be the females of Are You Sure You Want to Do That? And we're going to be doing a podcast, and it's going to be more bitching, but we have that. And yeah, we have a few other little things that's going to be popping up. Our artist actually has her Patreon up, Foxy Maps, where you can follow her and get custom maps and fun stuff like that, which Howie, I gotta send you those because they're really pretty. And
Yes,
that's what we have going on right now. So there's more down the road.
Awesome. And then Ben, what do you guys got going on over there with Clan McHugh Gaming?
So for Clan McHugh Gaming, I currently am in the middle of some work stuff, so my stuff's kind of on hold. Think Jessie is planning on returning to streaming at some point this week. She's been kind of out of the loop, but she wants to pick that back up. I will, Discords, all that kind of stuff, Twitter, check us out over there. For more information, right now it's kind of a little up in the air as to what day she's going to do it, but thinking Monday because we have get together on Sunday. So
awesome. Hey, it's part of the life, right? Constant grind, but hey,
right.
It's coming along. Awesome. All right. Unless anyone has anything else, let's go ahead and dive right in to this episode. Fancy intro, done. So, last we left off, our adventurers began their travels towards the city of Nulgrim after Shirley was given a written correspondence from his father, Duke Dotrin Went, wishing for his audience and assistance with a matter of great importance to his dukedom. On your way there, you all were attacked by a group of these very strange-looking goblin, almost wolven, like humanoid creatures known as measles. In a battle that saw one of your compatriots, Julia, actually go down during the fight, you were able to eliminate the threat and discover the body of a messenger that likely delivered the message from your father, asking for your presence in the first place. After another couple days of travel, you were able to arrive in the town of Deer Meadow, a walled-in town south of Nulgrim, famous for its theater, the distilling of spirits, and its skilled alchemists and medicine makers that make this town kind of well-known. Upon your arrival at the Dashing Deer Inn, Shirley actually met and had a conversation with a human woman named Anon Kine. In this conversation, you discovered that your lead on some sort of alchemical reagents fetch mission was actually a front for another job that she had for you. She told you she'd be leaving in the morning and that if you were to take the job, she would need an answer before she left. A number of you chose to end the evening at that point. However, a couple of you guys decided to continue to explore more of what this town had to offer. Juliet, you decided to go out and find a dress shop. You actually did find a place called the Purple Thread, where you did, in fact, procure and purchase a dress, and also commission one to be made for yourself as well from the proprietor there at the Purple Thread. After this, you guys decided to go, or you specifically decided to go to the theater. Unbeknownst to you, Timmick, your resident dwarf druid, was actually following you, although you don't really know that. You actually entered into the theater. This big, humongous, kind of circular-shaped globe with these like kind of green, flowery kind of projections that came out of the top. And during the course of that particular show, you watched this very peculiar-looking play called The Witches of Fortune, during which you observed an explosion that happened in the middle of the scene, which seemed a little off. And in fact, once the smoke and the dust settled, you actually saw the body of one of the actresses with a sword stabbed into her chest. And that's where we left off. So, with that said, I've got to activate some very interesting music here. So,
Dun dun dun.
Yep. All right. So, if it ever comes in, there it is. Chaos ensues. People begin to rush towards the exits. People begin to be trampled, especially down at the lower level where there's a lot of people just kind of rushing out, trying to get out via the one exit that's there. And people begin to rush by you and almost kind of walk through you, Juliet. I need a strength saving throw from you right off the bat.
I can do that for you.
Okay.
Just gotta get my sheet up. Okay, well, I rolled a natural 9 plus 2 strength, so 11.
Okay. You actually, in the kind of ruckus of all these people, people are screaming, and there's chaos everywhere. You actually get trampled and actually knocked over by a bunch of individuals trying to kind of push their way towards the stairs. You actually take 2 bludgeoning damage as people begin to kind of rush over you and kind of trample you in their wake. You are actually prone right now. Luckily, as the number of people that were in this balcony was kind of limited, you are able to stand back up and kind of observe around you. Give me a perception check.
It's really bad. Let's see. Where are you? So, 10?
10. You kind of look and gauge your surroundings. You don't see anything in particular other than the fact people kind of rushing by you. It's just kind of a big kind of blur mess, but you do smell something. It smells like fire burning. What do you do?
I want to get up
Okay, you're easy enough to stand up.
I kind of want to just try to step away from the crowd, and I kind of just want to observe, like, where is the fire coming from, and do I see anything? I'd like to walk a little closer to the stage if I could.
You're kind of up on the balcony, and there's only really like two ways to get. There's only really one way to get down. It kind of wraps around the entire perimeter, and they both kind of come down to two staircases that are mirrored on either side. Go ahead and give me another perception check.
12.
12. Actually, that's a lot better. So you actually, as you're you can see across the way, you can see that someone has knocked over one of the candles that were kind of illuminating this area, and one of the pieces of the drapery that kind of drapes around these kind of windows and little portholes that kind of like surround the perimeter of the theater from across the way is actually starting to light.
Okay. Is there a chance I can get to it and maybe try to put it out?
There's a possibility, but for that, we're going to pause. Timmick, give me a perception check. Okay. 18, perfect. You actually can hear the sounds and rushing of oncoming people as you kind of stand outside the door of this establishment. What do?
Is there another entrance that I can get in without them trampling me?
A
window I could peek in?
Yeah, so with the 18, you actually can kind of walk around to the perimeter, and you actually do find a window that's actually at ground level that you can peer into. And given your dwarven form, you should be able to kind of bash through it. However, it is locked at this point. What do?
I'll break the window.
Absolutely, easy enough. So you just smash in the window, and because you are small enough in your dwarven form, you can actually crawl through. You see boatloads of people trying to rush out the door, but the door isn't big enough for everyone to kind of fit. It's actually creating a logjam of a lot of people kind of all getting trampled on top of each other. And you kind of observe, especially with that kind of very large perception check, you can actually see up in the balcony that you can see that a fire has begun to lick across and actually begun to catch a number of the different draperies and fineries that kind of decorate the outside of this building.
Do I see Juliet?
It is at this time you actually do see her kind of rushing her way around, kind of trying to get over to that edge as well. At this point, you actually are actually next to one of the stairwells. Most of the people have kind of worked their way off of it, but you would be able to kind of work your way up to it, but it would be a check involved to make sure you don't get knocked backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get to Juliet, so...
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength, an athletics check. Athletics or acrobatics, your choice. Okay. So with a 3, your progress is kind of deterred and delayed, but you are able to eventually get up there. Juliet, it's at this point you've actually come all the way around, and you actually are at the point of the fire. It's at this point that a couple of other pieces of drapery have started to catch as well. What do?
Do I see anything, like any kind of water? I know that's a long shot. Or do I see maybe something where I can grab and try to, like, put it out or something?
There is other pieces of this drapery that hasn't caught yet. That it's fairly large. Like it's this kind of green, long, kind of wide drapery that you might be able to kind of fan or kind of pat out the flames if you want to try.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me. What's the check for this? Go ahead and give me a athletics or acrobatics check. Your choice.
Let's see. I'm gonna do it athletics because I'm proficient in that.
Okay.
Okay, not that proficient. That's a whole. And this dice
6.
That dice gets to go to dice jail.
Okay, that is a whole 6. So. Yeah, no, you try to kind of rip the drapery off, and it's kind of affixed with this kind of like, these like kind of brass looking rings that kind of attach to this like big long wooden rod, and you try to pull it down, but it doesn't break off very easily. Timmick, it's at this point that you actually are able to kind of ascend the rest of the stairs and make your way, and you start to catch up to Juliet. What do?
Well, do I see anybody running by me that, I mean, looks trustworthy?
At this point, most of the people are running towards the exit. So you run across a couple of people.
That's leaving to go to the tavern and get Moron and Shirley.
Yeah, there's actually a very kind of fancier looking like young couple that kind of are trying to run their way out, and you are able to kind of forewarn them and try to go get your friends. So they'll be able to do that. It might take them a little while to get back here, but they're alerted, or they're on their way.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to keep trying to figure out a way to pat out this fire.
Okay.
Do I see Timmick? Is Timmick there right now, or did he go back?
Timmick is there with you right now.
I turned around. Timmick, what are you doing here? Why am I asking you that question? Just help me.
Oh.
So, I don't know what to do. I was here, and then someone died. Oh my God, the dead person.
Somebody died?
Yes, and there's fire. There's a dead person. There's fire. There's trampling. I don't know what to do.
Where's the dead person?
On the theater. On the thing. Word.
The stage.
The stage. Thank you.
I like how the dwarf who lives in the hills knows it's called a stage, but oh shoot, sorry.
The stage. The stage. There's the body. There's it's over there. And how far has the fire gotten? Has the fire gotten worse?
It's cut onto another window at this point because you guys are talking.
Okay.
There's just on like two windows?
Now it's on a third window now as it starts to continue to kind of grow and expand. It's actually caught onto the drapery that you were trying to pull at first there, Juliet.
Can I do something? Can I try to pull out more? Is there anything I can do before this place goes up in flames?
There's plenty of things you can do. Your imagination is the limit. What do you want to do?
Can I go look for water?
Sure, you can go look for water. Go ahead and give me a perception or an investigation check, your choice. Yeah, that's it, just your choice.
Okay, perception or investigation. God damn it, this. Yeah, investigation is going to be. So that was a 2. No water.
Man, those drapery, that's pretty much the only thing you can find at this point.
While she's looking for water, I'm gonna rip the drapes down and start stomping on them.
Okay. You can also go ahead and give me an athletics check or a acrobatics check, your choice. That's better. So you are able to kind of take this drapery down. You're able to rip down one of the windows and you can begin to pat it out. As you do so, you actually also remember that you guys both have, well, actually, your water skin's full of milk, but it might be able to be put out the flames a little bit, although the milk's kind of chunky. But you continue to kind of like stomp it out, and you are able to kind of take care of one of these kind of draperies at this point.
I'm just gonna keep ripping them down.
All right.
All of them. I have a shield on my back, so I'm gonna take that off and use that to stamp it out.
To fan it, okay.
Not to fan it, not to fan the flame. No.
I heard fanning.
Yeah, I go grab my bellows and just blow into it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fun. Go ahead and persuade the flame. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead and actually, you have. Yeah, just give me another athletics or acrobatics check. That's all I can really think of right now. That'll work. Boom, giant follow there.
There you go.
And a natural 20, easy enough. You actually, that stroke of genius that you have with your shield, you're able to kind of bat the flames out and actually kind of handle another set of them. In fact, you start to put out the other one, and at this point, you are able to kind of control the flames and control the fire. And you kind of look and turn to Juliet, and she was at this point just kind of like looking at all the drapery and not really finding or realizing of any kind of place but at this point the fire is out.
All right, I make my way to the stage.
Okay, you make your way to the stage. Let me just change some of this up.
Timmick, I don't know what I would have done without you.
Yeah, good thing I followed you. I knew you were going to cause trouble.
I anything for once.
Oh, sure looks like you did.
I was watching the show, and then all of a sudden, she screams, the lights go out. I think the lights went out. The lights go out, come back, this person's dead.
It must have been your froofy dress. I don't know.
You
We don't have to
like
talk
my
about that right now. We don't have to talk about the dress right now. Let's go. We need to find the stage.
I don't see why the foofy dress would have caused the fire, but
Uh,
I think because it's pink.
maybe.
Oh my God, is Dale okay?
Yeah, Dale's fine.
I'm fine.
Okay. Are you investigating the body, Timmy?
Was I supposed to?
I can
I was gonna
investigate.
if there's any survivors on the stage or in the back of the stage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You actually are able to make your way down to the bottom of the stage, back towards the foot of the stairs, and you are able to walk towards the stage. There you see, stabbed in the chest, a red-haired woman, still stylized in her kind of costume garb. As you kind of get a closer look at her, she actually is a younger individual that's just kind of dolled up this way. And as you kind of make your way up to her, you actually see a couple of other people kind of come out. You actually see the blonde-haired actress, as well as the brunette that also was making their way out from backstage at this point, because they at first were trying to make their way out as they saw the kind of the craziness that ensued, but after they've been kind of hemmed in here, they kind of relented and kind of went back towards their dressing rooms. Now that the kind of commotion has ceased, they begin to kind of walk their way out. They actually, both women have kind of taken their stage makeup off at this point, and you actually see one of them is a younger blonde actress with kind of, that had the actual white face before, that is now washed up to reveal still a fair complexion, but not ghost white like it was during the performance. You also see an older woman. The hair is still kind of styled up in this kind of like weird ice cream cones shaped kind of brown hair, but she's a little bit older, kind of a middle-aged woman.
Has she a white face on?
She also has fair complexion. She, like, the makeup that they were wearing was kind of more almost like ghostly apparition white that was kind of put on them. They were playing witches, so they were trying to like kind of make themselves look a little bit older and like kind of fit into that kind of like costume.
So the first thing I'm gonna ask them if they've ever seen real witches, because they don't look anything like the witches we met in the woods.
Emmett, that's so rude.
You may want to do some research.
Do you guys, please excuse my good dwarf friend. Do you know what happened here? I was watching and obviously I wasn't close enough. What did you see?
The younger looking woman kind of perks up. She goes, I don't know. There's a big, there's supposed to be a smaller kind of like little poof of smoke, but not a giant explosion. And then when the dust settled, she was, I mean, this is what we saw, and there was just all the screaming, and I don't know. It's all very disturbing.
Is there anyone that wants your friend dead?
I can't imagine why. I mean, she's been nothing but good to everyone here.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
The older one kind of perks up and goes, I can't imagine any real reason why anybody would want any of us dead. This is very strange. It's very troubling. It's actually at this point, too, you actually see two gentlemen actually walk out from the back of the theater. One, a younger gentleman of kind of light brown hair. He wears kind of brown trousers with kind of a nice looking kind of like white coat, white dress or shirt with a nice overcoat on. You gather that this might be some sort of actor as well. And then you also see kind of an older middle-aged looking human male long kind of brown hair that's tied in a fancy ponytail, a really nice, ornate-looking red and gold-trimmed looking overcoat. He actually walks with a kind of a fancy walking cane stick for his own attire, and he also is wearing full-length long trousers along with a nice white cravatted white shirt that he kind of walks in, and he kind of stares, kind of comes in, he's like, "What is the meaning of this? Who's done this? Was it you two?"
Use
Sir.
swords.
What were you saying, Tim?
Said I don't use swords.
Do you see any weapons on us? And another thing, sir, if it wasn't here for my friend Timmick, your entire place would have been lit up and burnt down.
Still
So
make
we're-
He kind of looks up and observes, and he sees that there is actually has been some singeing and some burning in the top area. He goes, "Oh, well, if what you say is true, I guess I owe you a bit of a debt. I appreciate it. I'm sorry." And then it's at this point that Shirley, Maury, you guys actually come walking into the front entrance now that the commotion's kind of settled and most of the people have left. You guys are also now walking to this site.
What in the Sam Hill happening here?
Do you want the short?
Juliet is wearing a dress.
Kind of what I was talking about.
You don't like it? It was poofy and pretty and whatever. It's not the point.
The dress is lovely. The fire seems to be the issue here.
I just imagine like her dress is covered in soot at this point. She kind of looks messy.
I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
get the fire for that to happen. You're running around looking for water the whole time.
I tried taking it down for a second, but it didn't work. Do you want the long story or the short story, Maury?
I always prefer the short one.
Was watching a show, big poof of smoke, this girl's dead, fire happened. Timmick came, put it out. Now we're here.
What I do?
All right.
Fireman.
Succinct.
Can I more want to do it not as to look around with perception, but to like kind of think over looking at the lady dead, where the fire was. Like, do I have any sense of what happened in here?
Go ahead. That would be it's a little bit of intuition, a little bit of go ahead and give me. I'll allow an investigation or a perception check on that sense, because it could involve a little bit of both. You're kind of piecing together a number of different parts. Okay, 17. So you can actually see, based on kind of as you kind of look around, you can actually see kind of the pockmarks of like what was a little kind of, I say controlled explosion, but an explosion kind of at the base of this cauldron that, as you look at the cauldron now, it is in shambles. Like it's split open like a, almost like a blown out, like if you've ever taken a flower and kind of smushed it or something like that, it's just like, it's kind of peeled back open. And you can see where these like little pockmarks are from the explosion. As you kind of look up there, you actually see that there's a number of sconces that would hold like different kind of candles and torches that would be along the perimeter. Some of them have fallen over and they've actually started to kind of, they caught fire. You can kind of piece together that that's probably where the fire came from that standpoint. But whatever was happened here on the stage, it was some sort of controlled explosion that caused the commotion, and also caused this kind of billowing smoke to appear that did dissipate fairly quickly, but you can gather that like the main focal point of probably like the fire is kind of a separate piece and entity from what happened here on the stage.
So the explosion like caused the fire. It wasn't like purposeful. Okay.
Yeah, one of these dummies put too much boom in the pot.
That's my concern too. there's not really supposed to be an explosion. It's just supposed to be a big poof of smoke, and that's it. I don't know how in the Sam hell this all happened, and clearly somebody changed some of the ingredients out or something.
Yeah, who would have had access?
I mean, any number of individuals that work here. I mean, besides myself and the three you see here, I can't really think of anybody else who would have the ability to do this.
Great.
Who wants
Why don't you all stay right there, and we'll try to get to the bottom of this.
I appreciate it. I could, well, as you can see, I can really use the help here.
I would like to go into the dressing room if I can, and I'd like to see if I see anything. Maybe it could be a crazy ex, or maybe it could just be one of the other girls. I'm very suspicious.
All of them are here, but you can go ahead and go towards the backstage, either by yourself or with anybody else. That's fine. And as you kind of do that, you come to find out that there's actually more than one actual dressing room. There's separate dressing rooms kind of for all four of them, plus there's actually an office specifically for the owner here of the theater as well. Which one would you want to go in first?
I want to go into her room.
Her as in the dead girl?
Yes. I don't
Okay.
know her real name. I didn't ask.
No, it's okay. So you go into her room and you kind of see like kind of a very fairly adorned looking chamber. She you see like kind of like almost like you do see a mirror with some different candles that kind of like spotlight around to kind of also shine a lot of light onto its subject, along with different kind of pieces of makeup and stuff like that kind of sitting at what would be a makeup station. In addition to, you also see a couple of different kind of sitting area with a chair and a couple other things, but in general it's kind of quaint looking room with nothing immediately catches your eye. But go ahead and give me it depends on what you want to do. If you want to quickly glance, it'll be a perception check. If you want to kind of dig and throw the room apart, you can make an investigation check, but that's up to you.
All right, I'll do a bit more of an investigation roll.
Okay, go for it.
That's 10.
10. You go ahead and search around. You take a look at everything that's kind of in here, and you gather that this woman doesn't come from a ton of wealth or status or anything like that. She appears to kind of be, based on what you can basically tell from this room, she appears to be somebody who probably just started out as an actress recently and hasn't really attained a whole lot of notoriety yet, but she does still have kind of like the necessities that one would need as an actress in the theater, but that's all you can really find here at this point. There isn't really a whole lot to be found here.
My CSI brain is just going like all over the place.
Your what?
My CSI brain, like, it could it be this person, could it be that person? It's way too much like murder mystery stuff.
So I'll ask the gentleman who appears to be, or from speaking, seems to be the owner. Is the sword a prop? Is that part of the show? Is that was that inside the cauldron?
No. He kind of takes a look at it and he goes, it was a prop. Based on, and he kind of like stares at it a little bit and he goes, Nazif, doesn't this kind of look like the sword that you had in Sir Porkington? And he kind of looks at it and he kind of goes, yeah, there's the green ribbon that's on it. Timmick, go ahead and give me Timmick, and actually all of you, give me a history check.
I would be in the dressing room, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. You would be in the dressing room.
Oh, so good.
While he's back in the dressing room and while Shirley is talking, I'm going to sit down and start to ritually cast Detect Magic.
Okay. as you guys kind of think for a second, you actually do remember there's one of the movie posters outside. You actually do recall, and you kind of piece two and two together. This gentleman, Nazif, that he kind of alludes to, is the man who is depicted on the exterior of the actual theater in one of the, I guess you would call it movie posters, that actually had his hand sticking up in the air. And you actually do see in that, or you recall, that there is actually a sword on his hilt that actually had a green ribbon coming off of it. And this is actually, in fact, the same looking sword that you see stabbed in this woman's chest.
Well, see, and I'm just going to be out with it. This points to you, and I'm going to, point to the actor and be like, it's your sword in her chest. Do you have any kind of... Let me... Real quick. Oh, this is one of those ones where, like, it's a good thing. No. Okay. Yeah, just kind of like eyeballing him like hard. Like, if this is your sword in her, like, I'm thinking this is like she stole his, spotlight or something type deal.
No. I haven't seen that sword in weeks. And besides, it's at this point the proprietor, whose name is Corin, he kind of is like, "Oh, out with it, boy. We all know you were sleeping with her." And he goes, "Yes, I was seeing her. Why would I ever want to do this to her?"
Well, that shoots my plan to hell. My apologies.
You should be. Who the fuck are these people anyway?
Well, for one, I was going to say, this is the dwarf who prevented your establishment from burning to the ground.
Yeah. Okay, but... Well, sorry, it's just... I lost someone today, so... Forgive me.
Where'd you last see her?
I mean, performing right here. Like, that's
Let's retrace your steps. You said you lost it.
Oh, you mean the sword?
It's your sword? You used it?
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a prop back when I was playing Sir Porkington. Leader of the rebellion.
Oh, so you killed her?
No. That performance was 2 months ago. I keep a memento from every single play that I'm in. Yes, and yes, I did have possession of this sword until about 6 weeks ago, when it disappeared from my dressing room.
6 weeks ago.
Sorry, 2 weeks ago. I misspoke.
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
That's
when...
DM brain. That's DM misspeak.
Okay. When did this play start? We're new in town, in case you were unaware.
Just arrived.
This is opening night.
Did anything ping on detect magic?
Anything ping on detect magic. You kind of sit, and after the course of your 10 minutes there, as you cast detect magic, you kind of look around. Nothing pings in your vicinity right now. I mean, you get a little bit of residue from like where the explosion was, but it's nothing that is easy to discern exactly the nature of it.
So, you and this gal were in the sheets a bit. Anybody that would be angry at you about that? Any previous lady friend of yours that maybe you got bored with and moved on, and now they're angry at you?
He kind of stands there for a second, kind of. I don't think so.
You don't think you slept with anybody else?
I mean, I'm a leading actor in a small performance troupe in this town. I sleep with a lot of people.
Oh, superstar.
Do I walk in? Do I walk in at that point?
Oh yeah.
I would have walked in right at that, and I would just look at him as, oh, so because you're a pretty boy, you think you can get away with everything, and you could just sleep with everyone and just. I don't trust him. I feel like he's lying. He's a lying piece of shit.
Did you kill him?
Who
Like,
shot
no,
her herbs?
No.
Who shot
No,
her
there's-
Cheerios this morning?
Like,
I would
I
watch
don't
that
deal
because
well
I'm not going to get between her and you if she starts casting spells.
That
And
little,
I don't get that vibe off you.
that little lady right there is tougher than a 2 copper steak. So
and like I walk right up to him. Like, how tall is he?
He's about 5'11".
Okay, so I'm so much taller. I'm much shorter. So I walk
Yeah.
up to him and I'm like punching him in the chest. Like, do you think it's okay to do that to women?
You actually are at this point kind of poking him in the navel because he's you're pretty much shorter than everybody.
Yeah.
He goes,
And it's like,
no, don't get me wrong, there, little lady.
it's Juliet.
I'm Juliet. Don't get me wrong.
I'll
I'm-
walk up behind her just to kind of loom over this guy as she's standing there.
He kind of like takes a look back and he's like, look, don't get me wrong, people here. Like, I'm young. I'm not looking to settle down right now. I don't disrespect women.
Just kill
I'm
him.
popular. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like,
What are the other 2 women doing right now?
the other two are kind of, well, the older woman is kind of standing there with her hands on her hips, just going like,
Yeah, they-
kind of rolling her eyes. The other one is, looks fairly distraught and disheveled, the younger one.
this guy's conversation isn't impacting them in any way. Like they know that this is a lady's they know this about him. This isn't like a shock to them.
Go ahead and give me an insight check. Ooh. You as you're kind of like seeing this kind of conversation exchange back and forth, when the gentleman says that he can't think of anybody who would be upset with him as far as like an old fling or something like that, you did notice that the younger girl actually started to kind of get a little bit emotional, and you started to see like a tear kind of roll down her face.
All right, I'll noticing that, I'll actually step back and quietly relay that information to Shirley.
I'm still poking him. And if I found out that you're the reason she's dead, I will chop your dick off.
While she's interrogating this gentleman, I'll kind of like ease around to where the ladies are and just offer to like escort them back to their rooms.
The older woman goes, well, thank you, child. I appreciate it. And she kind of begins, and the younger girl kind of begins to kind of like, okay, and she kind of begins to kind of follow suit, and they both kind of meander their way back with you towards their respective dressing rooms. And it's at that point, unless you stop them as you guys head backstage, they are planning to kind of go to their respective rooms.
Okay, I'll just ask them. I'll be like, ladies, if as a favor you would remain in your rooms, that we might be able to ask you some additional questions. We'll try and sort things out as quickly as possible here.
Why, thank you, son. I'll do that. Sounds good. And then the other one doesn't even say a word, and she just kind of goes in her room and shuts the door.
Okay. And I'll kind of give them both like a little bow and head back to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Poking him.
I was gonna say, like, I'll Juliet, if I might interrupt you, we should question everyone and separately. So if you would like to question the older lady, I'll go and question the younger lady, and we can leave cooler heads as I look to Maury to continue the investigation here.
I summon my sword real quick, and I'm like, if I find out.
Holy shit, you guys see that? How did... Okay, fine.
And then I summon it back, and I put it away, and I go to what Shirley told me to do. Like, fuming, like, really, really upset. Like, you don't know why she's so upset, but she's so mad.
So mad.
Did you sleep with this guy before?
Someone's upset. Jeez. Someone clearly hasn't gone to college.
Did you ask me that, Timmick?
There may be some prior emotions coming to surface. Would be best to keep your distance.
Oh, I plan on it. If she's gonna cut my literal dick off, I plan on it.
Right. Well, so I will head back to the younger lady's dressing room and kind of give a knock on the door.
There's no response.
Shit.
It's at that point when you say shit, you see the door just slowly start to creak open. And you can see her kind of like peering out of the crack of the door.
Apologies. Are you decent?
No.
Then might I request that you get decent so that we can discuss what has transpired here.
Okay.
Thank you.
And she just... And you hear kind of like the door is locked behind.
And the red's just gonna like kind of like flush, like, did not think about that. Wow.
At this point, we'll head back to the crime scene. Maury, Timmick, you're still standing there with Corin and Nazif, kind of looking over everything. Why don't you both give me investigation checks? Solid. Even more solid.
Oh Jesus!
Any plus like 50s on any of the chat there? No. All right. Well, okay. So with a
wait,
with a 4,
I can fix this. Hold on.
Oh, you're gonna give him retroactive inspiration? Oh, there's one.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
I can do more.
That +1 for that 2 is really gonna go a long ways there.
Oh Jesus.
So you guys kind of look around. Even still, you kind of fixate on this sword as you kind of look around, and everything else kind of seems. Yeah, well, no, that's still gonna be a 4. You guys kind of look around, and you're kind of fixated on this on the body of this girl, and you're kind of trying to piece together everything you've kind of heard as you're standing here. What would you guys like to do?
Oh.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep an eye on this guy. So, I understand she's a bit difficult to take, but I don't want to keep you here too long, but why don't you just go ahead and have a seat over there, and we'll get back to you shortly. But don't make your way out of this building if you don't mind.
I don't really need to go anywhere, so yeah, that's fine. Sure. And he kind of walks over to an area to the side of the stage and goes, huh. And he like takes like a box and kind of puts it in place and goes and sits on it. And then the owner just kind of goes, well, if you're asking me, I mean, Vothra there, the older one, she used to be the leading lady here, but ever since we got the new group of ladies coming in, she's been acting kind of not strange, but just kind of seems a little off-put by the whole thing. She's been the leading lady for a long time. She knew this day would come, but I don't know. Maybe she could do it.
You think she killed her?
I mean, I'm just trying to grab at straws. I mean, maybe. Cassie could have done it too. She's, her and Malora have been competing with each other for a while for a lot of the lead roles.
And what about Pretty Boy? You think he could have done it?
I mean, I don't see a reason why he'd want to. I mean, he's the actor and director for this thing. I can't really see a reason why he would kill off his leading lady.
Are you usually the director?
No, I keep my hands out of this whole thing. Actors do their thing. I stay away from them. They're a bunch of fucking wackos, if you ask me. But hey, it makes money, and it keeps the people entertained. Is what it is. I'm not one to judge.
Huh. So you haven't seen anybody weird around here? Maybe somebody from outside did this.
I mean, you folks are the weirdest people I've seen in a long time, but
there was nobody else backstage earlier today, or?
No, I mean, we kind of put this whole thing up ourselves. Obviously, like, I own this establishment, but I inherited it, I guess you could say, from my father. I haven't really been putting a ton of money into this thing, other than what Nazif says I should. But don't really need much of a set. It's always been kind of more of a theater of the mind kind of thing, with just the actors and actresses in costume or anything else.
While they're talking, I'm gonna make my way back behind the stage and back and look for a back entrance, back windows, and just start to inspect for signs of entry without a key.
Okay.
So he can that'll be what I'm doing at this point.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. 12. As you begin to head backstage, you walk past Nazif as he's kind of sitting there, and you actually kind of notice that in addition to the box that he's sitting on, there's actually a couple of other boxes that are kind of staged there, and you actually see that a couple of them have been kind of like knocked over, and they almost look like they were like haphazardly put there. As you kind of continue to move towards the back of the house, you get back there, and you do notice there is no back entrance window, anything, at least as far as like not within the dressing rooms that you can see.
And those haphazard boxes, would they have been leading up to a window, or they were just kind of off to the side?
No, they look like they were like set there for like they're kind of like almost set there as prop boxes, if you will. They usually, and as you kind of look at Nazif, he goes, yeah, usually these things are kind of stacked in an organized way. I don't know why they're, All
right, I'll go root through them while they're just there. I'll try to move them out of the way, see if there's anything different about them, if you're saying that.
Okay. You go ahead and root through them, and you actually do notice as you're kind of picking through them, all of them appear to be all boxed around, and they're all like hemmed in. There's like sides to each part of the cube, although there is a couple of them that actually have an open bottom.
How big are they?
They all vary in sizes. Some of them are just kind of only this big. A couple of them are a little bit bigger. They're all either kind of rectangular or cube shaped. Polygon. Fancy math terms. But there are a couple of oblong ones, and one of the ones that doesn't have a bottom is oblong, as is one of the cubic ones.
Can I just look inside the two that are empty? Is there anything?
Sure. Yeah, no, you can. If you look inside the cubed one, there's not really anything. There's nothing of note there. There's no like props or anything like that in there. As you look at the other one, you actually do see that there is there's a couple things. You see that there is a couple of small little vials on the end. Like as you pick it up and you kind of look underneath, there's a couple of small little vials that look. There's actually one that looks very similar to the one. As you've kind of been talking and inspecting, that looked very similar to the one that Melora had that she actually dumped into the cauldron, as it was explained to you. But that's kind of all you see. You see kind of like another prop version of this little vial.
All right. I'll leave it there for now, but I'll just make sure I'm keeping an eye on that box.
Okay. And we'll pause there. Juliet, what are you doing?
I was getting ready to knock on the door of the younger girl when I kind of stop and have an idea.
Okay.
It could be possibly good. It could be just dumb. But I want to see if I could find any bugs or mice and maybe see if they might have seen something.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check, because you're just kind of generally looking around in the vicinity to see if there's anything kind of crawling around.
Yes. Okay. Same with my perception. Ooh, okay. 15 plus 3, so 18?
Yep, that's 18. So you kind of peer around, and you actually do see that there is kind of like one, as you kind of like turn a couple things over, you actually do see one lone little mouse kind of like in the corner, a small little gray mouse kind of like nibbling on some sort of scrap piece of food that he found in the corner somehow.
I'm going to talk to him. Hey there, little guy.
Oh, hey. What are you? Holy cow, you're a big mouse.
Yes, I'm gonna put my hand out for him to jump in. I
Give me
won't
an
hurt
animal
you.
handling- Give me an animal handling check with advantage because you're talking to him.
Okay. Thank God for advantage. Okay, that's good. So with advantage, that's 13.
Okay. And he kind of like crawls up into your hand.
I just pet his little head. Hi.
Oh, hi.
This is a strange question. This whole thing is probably strange to you, little guy.
Yeah, this is
But
weird.
I could imagine. Did you see? Have you been around this theater for long?
What's a theater?
Have you been around this place for long?
I mean, I've been in a lot of places, but yeah, I've been here for a couple times. People leave stuff here, so it's not a bad place to find food and stuff.
Do you see any kind of really strange people? I know I'm a strange person, but
Yeah, you're kind of funny looking.
anything that's thanks.
I mean,
anything-
you're a big you're like a big mouse, so there's a lot of other mice here
Sure.
too, but they're a lot bigger than you.
That's great. Have you seen anything, little mouse?
I see lots of things. I see you have red eyes. I see you have white hair. I see the...
They're pink. They're pink eyes.
Oh, is that what it is? I'm sorry, I can't see very well.
It's colorblind. It's mouse.
You're colorblind. It's okay. It's completely fine. No, more like, have you ever seen somebody I don't know how to use this in mouse term. You ever seen somebody get killed? I'm pretty sure you've seen fellow mice get killed.
Oh yeah, people don't like us that much. My cousin the other day actually just got squashed with a broom.
This horrible little mouse.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Have you seen bigger people? And I'm gonna take him, and I'm gonna walk outside a little bit, or walk around, and I'm gonna point at them, tell me, did you see that man over there hurt that woman?
No,
Stop waiting.
I mean, I've heard him. I mean, I've seen him. Well, I wouldn't say hurt her. I think they were enjoying each other's company, if you understand what I'm saying. I've seen that.
So you have seen him stab her.
Just not murder her.
You mind if I just keep you on my shoulder for now in case I have any questions for you?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I've seen him stab a lot of people before.
Phrasing.
Mostly. Well, it's actually kind of funny. It's mostly. It doesn't actually matter who it is, honestly. He likes ladies and guys.
Whole
I
lot of
hate him
stabbing.
so much more. I hate him so much more.
Just a stabber.
I'm gonna put the little mouse on my shoulder. Okay, stay there.
It's high up here. You're a tall mouse. Well, taller than me at least.
Can I call you? Can I name you instead of calling you Little Mouse?
I guess.
Okay, we're gonna go with Sir Squeakington.
Oh, that's a long name.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Oh, it's gonna be hard to remember.
Okay, well then, since Sir Squeakington doesn't have the answers I'm looking for, I'm gonna go to the girl.
Okay. Which one are you going to? Are you going to the older woman or the younger one that Shirley is currently awkwardly standing outside the door of?
I was gonna ask, is Shirley still by the door?
Oh, if I see Juliet coming up, I'm definitely going to be like, you take this one. Definitely. She was not decent. I asked her to get decent so we could question her, and then I'm just going to walk away to the older lady's dressing room.
Okay.
I thought I was to the older woman. That was the older woman's.
No, he was at the younger woman's, but he's going to the older woman's now, so you can go to the younger one.
You got this. And I'll thumbs up. And actually, as I walk past, I'm gonna cast enhance ability.
Okay. What are you gonna give her?
I'm gonna say...
So many choices. It's a fun spell if you don't know what it is.
I'm gonna say wisdom.
Okay, so that would be Owl's wisdom.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Juliet, you will have advantage on wisdom. I believe it's just wisdom. Yeah, advantage on wisdom checks. So, ability checks, not saving throws. For the next, I believe it's an hour or so.
Yep.
Doesn't say it in the description there, but I believe it's an hour. So.
Before Red leaves, I'm gonna point to my shoulder. Hey, look! I found a friend.
Very nice.
And you see this little brown mouse. He's actually, as you look closer, he looks a little skinny, and you can actually see that he's actually got a small little kind of hump on his back left leg, and he's just kind of like. He's so
cute. I love him. Okay.
I don't have anything for him. At least not handy.
I'll feed you.
I would say like I imagine like Shirley probably didn't like he might have grabbed like his sword, but that's probably it. Like he probably grabbed his sword and ran to the
Yeah.
theater, and
Yeah.
so he's like,
Are you in your nighttime attire? What are you in your sleeping pajamas, or what are you wearing?
I was gonna say I imagine like he managed to throw on some like pants and a shirt and his sword. Like he's probably like doesn't even have on shoes.
All right, silk pajamas, got it. All right, so yeah, no, that's
In case there's
fine.
combat, there's no.
Yep.
In case there's
all right,
combat.
So, let's actually go to you first, Shirley. You actually walk up and approach the older woman's door, who at this point you actually know her name. Her name is Vothra. Yep.
All right. So like I'll clear my throat and do the same thing, knock and be like, Miss Vothra, are you decent?
Oh yeah, lad, come in.
So I'll like crack the door and I'll head inside.
And you see her. She's changed out of her her normal attire. She's actually just kind of putting on her her like overcoat at this time. It wasn't completely decent, but decent enough to invite you in. And she's like, it's a shame what happened to the poor girl. Such a young talent too.
Indeed. I must admit my lack of familiarity with this place and this town. But hopefully you can kind of fill me in on the dynamics here. It seems like I'm not sure what you'd call him. The director kind of has the run of the place.
Yeah, you could say that. He's only been directing here for a few months. But his shows do all right. I mean, they're not necessarily my normal taste, but I've got to make money somehow, and I get to still work and do stuff that I like. So it's a good gig. But he's been around for a little while. But he kind of gets the run of whatever. I mean, kids, I wouldn't be surprised if you do pretty well with the ladies too, young man.
I have other responsibilities, but
What are those responsibilities? It's curious.
and like I'll kind of like show her the ring.
Oh. Well, hello, sir. Which one are you? You're obviously not the Duke, so which one are you?
My name is Shirley.
Ah.
A pleasure to meet you.
Honored to meet you too. Always a pleasure to meet a Duke's son.
Well, hopefully things will be better from here on out, and we can visit the theater and catch one of your shows. But I just would like to ask if I know in company sometimes it can be difficult to speak one's mind. So if there's anything further you would like to share with myself.
Oh, Well, I mean, other than the fact that he's been kind of porking all the girls that come in here, I mean, it's not really. It seems very strange. If you ask me, I think, well, the director's been losing money. Or losing money for the owner at the very least. He's been starting to spend a lot more money on a lot of the costuming here, which, don't get me wrong, really helps me get into character, but he's been kind of, he's been not great for business, I don't think, but I can't imagine a reason why the director would, or the owner would ever want to have anyone, or not her at least. I don't know. It's a very strange situation. I'm trying to come up with reasons why anybody would want to do it, but it's hard to really think it's it's a heinous thing. Like I said, the director has been friendly with a lot of women around here. I can't imagine anybody get that read up about it that they would do something like this.
Right. My impression to date of Deer Meadow has been and forgive me if this seems untoward, but a sleepy town, a nice place to rest.
It's a great place to, it's a great place to settle down and raise a family. And she kind of gestures over, and you see like a couple drawings of almost a depiction of her and a man, and also two small little, a boy and a girl children that are kind of like depicted in kind of a little picture that she kind of keeps next to her own kind of makeup and accoutrement. She goes, it's a great place to raise a family. It's part of the reason why I settled down here and not one of the bigger cities.
Ah, so that is Mrs. Vathra.
Mrs. Sen, yes.
Mrs. Sen, indeed. Well, again, unfortunate that we are meeting under such circumstances, but it is a pleasure. Well,
Is it though, lad? I'm sure you don't really want to get... I'm sure you're not necessarily all that keen to get involved in the likes of like us simple folk.
Well, I believe it is the noble's duty to care for all of our people, for lack of a better term.
Well, that's refreshing to hear. It's not always that you hear compassion from someone of nobility. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I say nobility, I just mean the rich folk. I don't really know. I mean, it's not really, not to be my place or not, but most of my dealings with people with more money and people of higher station, they typically think they can get whatever they want.
It is a shortcoming when you've been told all your life that you are privileged or special, that some fall into the trap of. My father has done a good job of instilling a sense of duty in myself and my siblings, and that we serve not ourselves but you.
I've only heard good things about your father, but it's hard to really know. People up at such a high station, they get taken care of so well, it's hard to really know. But we've had no issues as far as down here, being close to relatively close to the city and all.
It is good to hear that at very least things are peaceful, if not overly exciting.
Yeah. Is there something you really want to ask me, lad? Because you seem to be dancing around something.
Play the bagpipes.
I see no reason for this young woman's death. I can make not heads or tails of it, and I was hoping maybe that again you might have some insight that I didn't. The director himself, although he seems to make poor life choices, seems to have no reason.
Maybe. And the girl next door to me used to date him too.
Jealous
maybe
lover.
There's something there. Maybe. Could be. They were in that star-crossed lovers play together.
Is there where's the props? Do you keep copies of the scripts, that sort of thing, around here?
We all kind of take our own little souvenirs in general from each of the plays, depending on what our roles are.
But there's not like a records room or that sort of thing?
There's one in the office for the owner. He might. I imagine maybe. There's that, and then maybe Nazif keeps some of the old scripts in his room and chamber, but that's all I can really think of. You thinking there might be just some notes in the director's notes, maybe?
Maybe a letter or something, something, possibly.
I hope so.
Me too. Thank you very much for your time, Mrs.
You're
Sen.
welcome. And on that point, Maury, Timic, what are you guys doing?
I'll just be distracting the two men on the stage by telling them if they ever have room for a magician, I can do some magic, and I'll try to get Dale to pop out of my beard when I pretend to sneeze. And it just keeps failing over and over again because Dale, he's a little asshole. But I can get it. And I just keep trying just to try to stall for whatever they're doing behind the stage. And I saw Maury looking under boxes.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a performance check.
So for this, the lower the better, right?
No, I mean, if you... yeah, you try to hold their attention, but they kind of like are, well... Corin just kind of goes like... Yes, maybe there's some room for you somewhere.
I can do other magic, too.
What else can you do, lad? Or old man, Jesus. How old are you?
Who's talking to me? The owner of the place?
Owner of the place.
No, I'm pretty old. And I'll put hold person on him.
This isn't a retirement home. You're hold personing him?
There's some magic. I'll just put hold person on him so he can't move.
All right. What's the saving throw on that?
My spell DC is a 13.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He kind of just like,
yeah. He's just paralyzed now.
Yeah, he's paralyzed for a little while.
How's that for
Jesus
Christ.
He can't move.
Oh my god. Fucking Timic. Every time. Every time.
I saw for you.
So, Maury, what are you doing?
Beautiful work.
At this point, I mean, I've looked through that stuff. I've gone back there. I think I'm just watching Timic have his fun.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another investigation check. The longer you kind of hang around, the more you might observe and kind of find as you kind of continue to give yourself time doing stuff. 22. All right. So as you kind of continue to kind of look around, you actually you take a closer look at the sword, and you kind of observe as you kind of continue to look at it. You actually do see there's almost like you can see on the kind of like hilt of the sword, kind of close the blade close to the hilt. There actually appears to be some dried blood on it. That's also there as well. As if something or someone might have been cut on it, even as it still sticks into this poor woman, whose blood at this point is just all over the stage and is, it's not pouring out, but it's starting to kind of. Oh, hold on, I gotta drop the hammer on somebody again. 1 second, guys.
Gotcha.
Bang.
Nice.
As you kind of continue to look around, you see that dry blood kind of on the top of the hilt of the blade, as if someone or somebody was cut at some point, and there's some dry blood on it. As you kind of continue to look around, you actually notice that the Melora's hands are actually clutched together like this. And as you kind of like go closer, you actually carefully seeing, you can actually see a small piece of what appears to be some sort of like red fabric that's kind of clutched in her hand.
Who is this?
This is the dead girl on the ground. You can see that there's like a little bit of red fabric kind of clutched in her hand.
Red fabric, okay.
You do recall that both actresses were wearing red dresses at the time of the murder. You also know that Corin has a very large red coat, but it doesn't appear to be the same shade. His is much more of a maroon color. This is much more of a like brighter red shade. And then Nazif isn't wearing any red whatsoever.
All right, so I'll take the red fabric out of her hand. I'll call Timok over first, and just kind of point to it so that he sees it and is witness to it, and then I'll.
How long does hold person last?
Just a minute.
Okay. I'd say you're about 45 seconds right now.
Well, I'll take it and just say, keep we'll say entertaining these two. I'll be right back. And
Okay.
What's the first room I get to? The younger or the older woman?
The first one you get to is actually Nazif's room, which hasn't been explored or picked through or anything.
That's the room I'm in front of.
The room you're in front of is actually Cassie's room, which is all the way at the end.
All right.
Before the office, so it's like the third in the line of 4 doors, basically,
Having done my
or 5 doors, technically.
here and seen her tear and see her get upset, I'm going to go to her room first.
Okay. So at this point, Juliet and Maury, you guys are standing outside of Cassie's room. What do you do?
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I was getting ready to do that.
There's no response.
I kicked the door in.
Strength check.
Damn.
And she's like, hey, I'm just going to boom.
We'll say with advantage because you're very motivated right now. Didn't even need it. Easy enough. You kind of just blow the door off. It's just, and you just see sitting there now changed and a different outfit. It's actually kind of almost a bluish robe that's like kind of made out of silk, and you kind of just see her sitting there like in her at the foot of her kind of mirror with her makeup supplies and everything like that. And she goes,
Mine, have
hello.
you lost your mind?
Juliet, don't let her go anywhere. And I'm going to start looking around the room. The red robe she was wearing.
Summon
go
my
ahead.
sword?
It's not apparent in this room at this point. Go ahead and give me a investigation check. You kind of start to look around and you start tossing the room, throwing things around everywhere, but gosh, you just can't find the dress.
So I'll just turn around to her. Where's that dress you were wearing?
Well,
Talk.
There is no running glove.
I mean, it's in the chest over there.
And go over and flip open the chest and get it out.
Okay. You do find the dress in there, but it's still intact and everything like that. You pull it out. It is a red patterned dress. And you go ahead and compare it to the swatch that you found, and it appears to be a match. I mean, it's tough to tell exactly, but it appears to be. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check. Okay. You were actually able to discern that there's a couple of different kind of tears and kind of rips on this particular dress as you're kind of picking through it. But you're not able to kind of like necessarily piece together where the swatch might be.
So I'll turn around. I'll show her the dress.
Mm-hmm.
Show her the piece. And then I'll just kind of stare at her.
Is there something you want to tell us?
She goes to make a run for the door.
Oh.
Eldridge Blast real quick.
Sure. Give me an attack roll.
Crit, 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 crit.
Oh, I would laugh so hard if you did.
Kill her outright.
Just
I
wow.
gotta see. What's my spell attack real quick?
I
That's
believe it's
16
plus
to
6.
hit.
Yeah, it hits.
16 hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Eldritch Blast is
D10. 10 or 12? It's 10, right?
It's 10.
Yeah, it's 10.
So it's 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. You actually hit her across the back, and she goes down like a heap of potatoes.
Is she still conscious?
I'm going to walk over.
You're gonna walk over to her, okay?
I'm going to walk over to her, grab her by a fistful of hair, and pull her head up. Maury, did you have a question for her?
She's unconscious.
Slap her a couple times.
You might need to heal her.
I'll just yell, Shirley, we need quick.
So yeah, if I hear like this eldritch blast going off or whatever, which I imagine like I was like coming out as they were going in, I can just like kind of like, well, that's a different tack.
Her breath begins to slow a little bit.
All right, yeah, but I'll run in there, and if they, like,
Get her
I
away.
see her, Lynn, I'll cast Healing Word on her.
Good. Because she was at 2 death saves.
Jesus.
So you cast Healing Word. Go ahead and roll your D4, D4.
I still have
She
her by the
is
hair.
alive and conscious. I'll consider that you have her grappled at this point, and she kind of just.
I can do it again,
7.
and this time won't save you. Maury, did you have a question for her?
Why'd you do it?
That. She took him from me. She took everything from me.
Women are a fickle business.
So you kill her because of him?
Oops. What did I do?
I'm fixing it right now.
Technical difficulties, guys.
Somebody disappeared and then made everything go wacky. Which we're gonna have to go to a break here pretty soon anyway, so it's okay. I'll be able to fix everything once we figure that out. Nope, that's you. That's you.
This happens once a session, so at this point we're just,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's
yeah, there we go.
Hey, we
Fixed
made it all the way to the break before it happened.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
why?
She knew if she could get on his good graces that she would get the lead and everything. I couldn't have that anymore.
Trollop.
So you kill her because you're jealous? She had a whole life ahead of her, and you just killed her flat out. She's not a monster. She's not a creature. She was a person. Aren't you a person? My grip gets a little tighter around her hair.
I had somebody take somebody I love from me too for no reason. You're real close to ending up the same way she did.
Yeah.
She just doesn't say
I
anything.
loved someone too. But I didn't kill the other girl.
I'll kind
She
of
still doesn't say
like.
I just cast Booming Blade on my maul so that it starts to like glow green.
Is there a way that I can unarmed strike her and just like have her pass out.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
withhold a strike from her, and or you can hold your punch and not like outright like kill her if that's what you're looking to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of just like looking to get her head and like just hit it against, not like causing massive damage.
Right, but just
Yeah, I would say you don't even need to roll for that because you've got her grappled. Yeah, and she's back out again.
I
Like
just
over here.
I storm out of the room, back to where Timmick is.
I'm gonna go to the director. I owe him an apology.
Looks like somebody's keeping their penis.
that is
Accurate.
very noble of you, Juliet. And I'll actually,
Letting him keep his penis?
well, no, apologizing.
I should take that, but
I mean, he does seem to use it a little willy-nilly. But
I do have a thing I do plan on doing when I get to him.
Oh, okay.
Whenever that happens.
So you're able to get up there. Yep.
Okay. So, one, I owe you an apology. And I really don't want to, but I'm sorry. We found the culprit of that poor girl over there, and it was somebody that you screwed around with, which apparently you do that a lot.
Again, you're not wrong. I guess I should probably well, maybe I'll be a little more discreet next time, or careful.
As he says that, I'm like, no hard feelings. Can we hug it out?
Persuasion check at disadvantage.
I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do either way.
He's kind of worried that you're still gonna cut off his penis.
I'm not gonna cut it off. Let's see, persuasion with disadvantage.
All right, he rolled an 8 on his insight
Okay.
check, so he doesn't think you're gonna cut it off.
Okay. So disadvantage persuasion, that is a 11.
11. He lets it happen, but he's still kind of like grabbing his crotch and just kind of like turning his waist away from you a little bit.
I hug him in
Okay.
a way where I can get my knee possibly, and I can kick him right up in there.
He is a little bit guarded, so I will say give me an attack roll plus your strength bonus.
My strength, so that is another 11. 9 plus 2.
Yeah, it hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
So that would be unarmed strike.
Yeah, that would be an unarmed strike. So actually, you don't even need to roll damage. What's your strength bonus?
2.
2. All right. So you just kind of, you're able to knee him, but because he's kind of turned away from you, you don't catch him in the groin, but you get pretty close, and he's just like, ugh. And he's just kind of
Do
like,
that.
So, do you remember that scene from Good Will Hunting where he's like, "Hey, you remember it's me, Will from kindergarten," punches him? I'm gonna do that. And be like, "Hey, you remember when I asked if you'd ever hurt anybody here before?" And I just walk up and just punch him right in the face.
Jesus Christ.
He's unconscious. He goes down like a sack of potatoes.
I turn around to the owner. "I think you need to rethink a lot of the decisions you made. You got one murderer unconscious in that room and one piece of crap laying on this one."
Yep. Probably should vet these people a little bit more. Well,
The show is lovely, though.
Well, thank you. I mean, we got the best talent in town. Like I said, a bunch of wackos. I can't thank you enough. I think I've got a couple of things in the back I can give you that we use. Maybe they're useful in some way for you folks. I'm not sure, but give me a little bit and I'll be right back. And he kind of heads off. And we're actually going to go to break. So, way to figure out the mystery of Murder Mystery Theater, guys. So we do have another dice giveaway here at the break. So anybody that's watching, tonight's code word that I want you to kind of throw in the little chat box down there just to make sure that you get entered in for the dice giveaway is going to actually be theater. So put in theater. 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 No AH at the end. I won't find it. But go ahead and throw theater into the chat, and you guys will be eligible for the dice giveaway as per usual. And we'll come back here after the break. If we have enough entries, we'll definitely we'll give those away. If not, we'll figure it out at the end. We have plenty of people in here today, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay with theater. So I'll see you guys after the break. See you guys.
Great.
Hey, go pee.
And we're back, guys. So, winner of the dice giveaway is Spectral Heart. Spectral Heart, congratulations. Make sure you check your direct messages. We'll get those dice out to you as soon as we can, but make sure you check your DMs here on Twitch in order to be able to get them. Other than that, let's actually dive right back in here. So let me see if I can find some music that... this probably actually still works. So... you guys, now at this point, are kind of still sitting there kind of waiting for the owner there to come back, Corin. And as he kind of meanders his way and he comes back out, he goes, now, like I said, we don't really have a whole lot here, but we have some stuff that, I want to say thank you for helping, and at the very least, you didn't have to help us, so... we can, and luckily we have extras of these, so we can kind of deal with it. But I just want to kind of give you this stuff, and he actually hands over to you a small kind of hooded lantern that they kind of use, and he kind of describes we use this they used it basically as a lighting prop, but it also kind of helps see through and see invisible things and illusions, but mostly because of the fact we also use this, and he actually hands over a small deck of cards. It's got, looks like there's been some cards that have been pulled out of them, but there's actually just a small little deck of cards. He also hands over to you guys 80 gold pieces and a very fancy looking, ornate looking bag. And he goes, and well, whenever we need to kind of we kind of used to keep, we have a couple of these, but this is an extra one we had. We keep a lot of our not props, but a lot of our costumes in these because they just hold a ton, but we haven't actually filled up one of these things yet, but I guess you guys can have it if you'd like. And he hands over this kind of small little ornate looking bag.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Nice bag.
Yeah, it's a very nice bag. So between you guys got this small little lantern, this little deck of cards, and that bag along with 80 gold pieces that he hands over to you. And he goes, and don't worry about that. We get we have some patrons that take care of us and make sure we still have funds, and it's the least we can do for the fact that you guys helped us figure out what the heck's been going on here. Now, I imagine you'll probably be taking this lady to the guards, I imagine. I can write you guys something up in case they need it, because I'm sure... Well, I'm surprised they haven't showed up yet, but... actually, at this point, you see a couple of guards kind of come in yes! And he kind of goes on to explain to them kind of the goings-on of the evening and kind of what happened and what you guys actually kind of did for them, and they kind of take this small blonde-haired woman, and they kind of take... who's still unconscious, but stable, and they take her off and bring her to wherever they whether it be the local jail or whatever the case may be.
We found her like that.
So he actually takes you guys out, or you guys are able to kind of at this point. You guys are still in the theater, but you guys are free to do whatever you wish. But he thanks you, and what would you guys like to do?
I'm just going to tell the guards, I'm going to ask them, I guess, whoever seems to be in charge, What is the typical punishment around here for murder?
One of them kind of pipes up and goes, well, in all honesty, sir, under normal circumstances, under the lay of the law, it's pretty much a lifetime imprisonment for the. That's kind of the basic standard around here. Now, we don't necessarily, luckily under the Duke's rule and the kingdom, for that matter, there is no eye for an eye. It's punishment that fixed the crime is the best, and where this person took away a life, they're going to be spending the rest of theirs in less than comfortable circumstances.
Right. Will satisfy me for now. I feel like I may come back and visit.
You're free to do whatever you want.
And I'm gonna kind of show him the ring and be like, I know.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
That's right. Thank you for doing your jobs.
You're very welcome, sir. I apologize if I offended you in any way.
No offense. Just, I am not as familiar with the area as I would like to be. It's good to know that there is some law in this place, though.
Well, you can thank your father for that. Good man.
He is.
Aye.
And then I'll kind of just dismiss them and go back to the...
Yeah, and they meander their way out with their prisoner. Who's still just kind of limply, just kind of slings them over one of their shoulders, and they just start making their way out.
Well, I think I'd like to go back to our room.
I agree.
I was going to say, yeah, we should probably get what rest we can if we're going to be going after the creature in the morning. And I kind of look around everybody are we still doing that? Or is that...
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
But all about that.
All right.
I'll divvy out.
Creatures, I understand. Killing creatures, I understand. Humans, I don't.
Agreed.
What are they doing with the body?
That's a good question. It's at this point, during the kind of hubbub of everything else, and the guards kind of coming in and escorting the prisoner, carrying the prisoner out. A couple of them have kind of stayed behind to kind of begin to kind of clean up and stuff like that. They kind of throw a sheet over the body at this point, and they kind of taking the word of you got you and everyone else, the witnesses and stuff like that, and they kind of agree that this makes sense, and they begin to kind of they still don't want to disturb the body yet. They're kind of leaving it be for now, but it's they have to call it and even express to you guys they need to call in a special group, and the kind of they got to call the local priest in order to be able to come over and make sure that they give the body its last rites and all these. It's a process. It's not one of those things where they just take the body and throw it on a cart and take it with them.
Yeah.
He's sitting in this theater on the stage for a while.
It will be sitting here for a while, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna cast Gentle Repose on it so it doesn't start to decay and stays as is.
Okay. You can do that.
And it can't become undead now.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Good call. It's always an issue. I don't know.
Okay.
Not entirely sure. Well, he probably doesn't have any magic or anything. We're not gonna. Anyway, back to the end.
So you guys make your way back to the Dashing Deer Inn. The same humble-looking, cheerful, warm inn that you've seen before. You see Tormir and Fudge maintaining the bar. Well, Fudge doing his thing, just kind of laying there, not doing much. He's at this point just kind of just sleeping there on the bar top. You see that Tormir is kind of addressing some customers here and there. You also do see that a non-kind is still kind of like has meandered her way back and is currently in the process of eating a final meal before bed, and kind of looks up at the group of you and makes eye contact, but then kind of goes back to her meal again. But you guys are back at the Dashing Deer Inn.
The only thing I want to do is after if we made eye contact with her, just nod my head. And this whole walk back to the inn, Juliet's been quiet and kind to herself. She's just gonna turn to Timmick and Red and give them a hug and go upstairs to her room.
Okay.
Oh, Maury. You're not giving him a hug? You're not giving Maury a
Maury's we're in the same room together.
Oh.
So like, what?
Uh-oh.
When she does that, I'll use prestidigitation to clean up the dress.
Thank you.
It's kind of funny. She has to kind of walk in through the doors by herself because it poofs out so much
Yeah,
that you guys can't
like-
walk around her. But the prestidigitation does help to me. You've been doing everything in this giant poofy ball gown this whole time.
So,
What better way to adventure?
I,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll, give her a few minutes and then I'll go check on her. That was she seemed a bit off on her walk over here. But while she's getting herself in order, do either of you know what any of this stuff he gave us is?
That's gold there. That's 80 gold.
Well, I mean, that's about the only thing I do understand.
Well,
Is the bag waterproof? Does it look like it could hold water inside of it? Or milk?
so I was gonna say, can I roll an Arcana to like see if I would, like, if they have any kind of markings or anything that I would recognize?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. Do any of you guys have Detect Magic that have available to them to use right now too?
Let me see.
So while he's doing that, I'll do Detect Magic.
Okay. Okay. 20 total. That'll help. So you are able to identify these items. Fairly, not like you. It takes you a little while, probably the better part of an hour, but you are able to kind of identify all of these things. You identify the small hooded lantern. It actually, when it's lit, it actually burns for a total of 6 hours on 1 pint of oil. And sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light in another 30-foot radius. It also illuminates invisible creatures and objects as long as they're within the bright light of the lantern. And you can actually use an action to lower the hood and reduce it back to dim light for a 5-foot radius. It is also known as a Lantern of Revealing. And I will add that to, for now, I'll add it to Maury's inventory, but you can move it around as you see fit to make your guys' life easier. Let me get back to my items. There, it should be in there now. Maybe if it did it right. Yep, there it is. It's in consumables. The other thing, you take this small bag, you kind of examine it, and as you're kind of messing around with it, you actually at one point take a piece of like a dagger or something like that, and you put it in there, and you look inside the bag, and it kind of just is a big giant void, and you kind of look at it, and you think about, the dagger, and you kind of stick your hand there, and you're able to pull it back out. It is a bag of holding, so you can you have that now in your guys' possession.
What's the carrying capacity in a bag of holding?
The carrying capacity on the bag of holding.
In gallons.
In gallons?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Convert pounds to gallons and volume of 64 cubic feet, and you can figure that out yourself.
No.
So that'll be in containers, and I again put that in Maury's inventory. And then the other thing as you kind of examine the deck, you've heard of a number of different magical decks. Now, where you've kind of they said that they've used these before to kind of create different effects. You think on it, and you've heard of a couple of different types of decks that are magical like this, but based on kind of the way it's been used at this particular establishment, you gather it is most likely, and after doing some examination, it is in fact a deck of illusions that has 10 cards left that I have also put back in Maury's inventory as well. So you guys can disperse that amongst yourselves any way you guys see fit. But I don't know if Maury, if you can access anyone's sheets yourself, but I'll mess around with it once you guys figure out who you want to have it and all that kind of stuff. But
I was able to do that. But...
Yeah, you can see everybody's sheet on here.
Okay, good. I just don't know if you can drag and drop from one to another. I haven't checked that out. I know I can, but I don't know if you can.
Do we know which cards are left in there?
You don't know because as soon as you pull the card, it produces the effect.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally random.
Wild card. Yeah!
Love it. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm definitely calling it a night at this point. I was already ready to call it one before, so.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before you go to bed?
Take a swig out of my milk skin and head upstairs.
Absolutely. Constitution saving throw, please. At advantage. Oh yeah, no problem. Sweet nectar, as it always is.
Oh, Jesus.
A little chunky, but still lovely.
Basically just a bag of cottage cheese. Just
It's getting there. It's chunky. It's still got some fluid to it, but it's getting kind of he's getting, as one of our chatters just said, he's getting used to it.
In real life, Ashley needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
You guys are able to head off to bed. Maury, it's at this point you actually arrive in the room, and Juliet, what are you doing?
I am just I'm in my pajamas, and when I hear Maury walk into the door, I'm just like, just kind of like patting my eyes and just pick up the little mouse and just petting him.
You stole the mouse?
Yeah, I did steal the mouse. He is now mine.
Beard?
Huh?
You gonna put it in your beard?
I mean, I could probably put him in my cleavage. I'm not gonna put him in my beard. I don't have a beard.
Oh,
I'll put him like right there.
How
It's warm in here.
are you doing? You look like you might be having a slightly rough night.
I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm always fine.
Lately, it looks like you've been in a boat with one oar, just kind of trying your darndest but spinning in circles. I hope you know you can trust me and tell me if anything's wrong.
She gets into Maury's bed and she like draws like her knees up to her chest, and she's kind of just like holding on to them. And she kind of just like looks up. I guess that situation back at the theater just brought back a lot of memories, a lot of negative emotions. Remember the banshee that we fought that one day back in the woods?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she killed me once when I was normal. I guess if you want to consider me ever normal. She killed me because I was looking for a flower. A flower to save someone's life. Someone who didn't give a damn about me. And I thought it was a dream, to be honest with you. And just see her like pat away a tear. But I woke up and I have a sword and these powers, which I can't figure out if they're a curse or meant, I don't know. But anyway, I went back. I don't know if you want to call it a deity or whatever, but I traded something for someone who left me for their nurse.
That's their loss for sure.
Yep.
You're a wonderful person. And I know that you might not think all the time that with the things and the powers that you have that's true. And just from the way I've heard you talk, you might doubt yourself in some ways, but I can tell a lot about people. I've seen a lot of things, and I can tell that you're a good person. A little tough on the outside, but we all have to be. I don't want you to ever think that you're not part of this group because of something that happened in your past, or that you're any less or any different. We all have pasts, and we're all figuring it out together.
Thanks, Maury. I don't feel like a good person. I don't come from a family of good people. That's a story for a different day. But I guess just everything that fucking asshole just brought back memories. And I seen that girl, and I seen the other girl who did what she did. And I can't sit here and say I didn't think about doing the same damn thing that she did. But I didn't. I didn't hurt anyone. I wanted to. I wanted to hurt him and her. Mostly him.
Understand?
But that I moved on, or so I thought. And now I owe something much bigger to something much bigger. This whole thing is just so confusing.
Might say that that whole scenario there reopened some old wounds.
Yeah.
Can I you see me get a little uncomfortable. You shared some things with me, and I've been the past few days I've been hiding something that I think I'd like to show you if you don't mind. So I'll
Sure.
unbuckle some of my chainmail stuff and start taking it off, and the big scar that I have across my chest and neck that you've seen. I mean, it's just a big scar. It looks like it just happened today. Like it's not bleeding, but all the individual bite wounds are all fresh. It's fresh meat. It's fresh. Everything. It looks like I just got bit. So no scars anymore. It's actual open wounds.
Maury, what's wrong with it's? Do you want me to call Red so we can heal that?
That's the thing. It's been a few days, and I've rested, and I've been in battles, and Red's healed me, and I mean it's not bleeding, it's not getting affected, it's not getting worse, but I mean this is like when it happened to me, and I went to bed one day and I woke up and it looked like this, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm starting to be able to do some things that I couldn't do before. Like when I hit people, sometimes it just my maul makes a big boom, and I don't know, it's weird.
Are you? Oh, first, how did that happen? You just woke up like that, or?
Well, I mean, the scars have been there since I was attacked when I was a boy. Again, that's a story maybe for a different day, but this creature came in and it thought it killed me, left me for dead, and it didn't, and I've left with this scar for 10 years. It's really strange.
Well, I will help you figure out what is it, how we can heal it, or how we can get rid of it.
And
but we'll figure it out.
I'll do the same thing for you. I don't know what this. Would I understand at all what she's talking about when she's telling me like that she died and came back and now she's owes something? Would I know what that is?
Go ahead and give me a religion check. $15. You've heard of stories of different, especially when it comes to like different temples and cathedrals and churches and stuff like that, of different deities and entities providing gifts to their worshipers or their followers. Sometimes those particular gods, goddesses, whatever they might be, can offer or can allow for some revivification style magics and stuff like that because they have that ability innate of themselves, but they oftentimes will give that gift onto their followers depending on the right situation. This sounds a little bit different. It's something unfamiliar to you, especially given the fact that she hasn't, based on what you know about Juliet, she doesn't necessarily worship any given god or entity or anything like that. It just seems like it's kind of random that whatever particular, whether it be a god or whatever it is, she has somebody or something is giving her powers and must see some sort of value in her for whatever reason. But other than that, like, it's abnormal for sure for someone to get gifts like this without any sort of specific worship. But
well, when I hear you talk about this thing and what it wants from you, I just want you to know that nobody's taking anything from you that you don't want to give, and I'll make sure of that. I don't care how big, how strong, how immortal something might be. I'll do everything in my power to keep it from taking whatever it is you think it's going to take.
And right as he says that, she like jumps from like the bed and she just hugs him,
Oof.
maybe crying a little bit. And she's just like, thanks.
What we do?
Thanks for just being a good guy.
That's what we do for the people we care about. I'll be sorry if I leave you here for a couple minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna feed Sir Squeaking Thin, and I pick up the little mouse and I hold him up. He's adorable.
And then I go down to the bar and buy a bottle of wine. Not the strong stuff. I buy a fairly weak bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, it'll only cost you like five copper pieces to do that.
And then I'll take it back up to her and give it to her.
Yeah. And you're able to do that. With that said, Shirley, Timmick, is there anything you guys are going to do before you go to bed?
Probably some crying and hugging.
Okay.
He's just
Hugging
crying
himself
and hugging
and crying.
himself. Like,
Yeah, getting it.
Dale's like, stop squeezing me, you crazy guy.
I walk by the room. I'm like, you guys too?
I think Shirley might be praying for the first time in a very long time.
Okay.
He might just, just for like kind of like he's not necessarily like a non-believer, so to speak, but just like he's been too busy for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think like that would probably be kind of his, while he's, cleaning his weapons or whatever, his gear.
Mm-hmm.
Just, be kind of like reciting some basic prayers and like throwing in like, asking for guidance, because he's seeing some good people and some bad people out here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on my stomach, crushing Dale.
Okay. All right. And so as night and sleep takes you, you guys, your evening is uneventful. You sleep in an inn. You feel pretty safe. Nothing happens. You guys wake up next morning. What time are you guys planning on waking up?
I guess we got to get up early because we got to get to her ahead of time, right?
I was going to say like probably sunrise or just before.
Yeah, you do recall that she did tell you that she had to move on to the next town fairly early in the morning, but you can catch her before she leaves if you wake up early enough. And as you kind of walk down the stairs on your way down, you actually do catch her as she's kind of like gearing up to pack up to leave.
Okay. And like I'll kind of like wave her down. Anon, are you set?
Yeah, I'm heading up to the city. I didn't think you were gonna come in. I didn't think you were gonna come in time. I was actually thought I was gonna have to go find someone else.
We needed some rest after last night's excitement. I'm not sure if you heard the news, but
I heard about some of the commotion that was happening down the street, but It's crazy. People are already kind of talking about some murder or something.
Unfortunately, that is true. But the situation is in hand. The local constabulary have apprehended the person responsible. So
Good.
we are free to accompany you.
Accompany me where?
Did you not have a creature to be dealt with?
Oh, I there is. Oh, you thought I was gonna go with you?
Oh,
Oh,
I
heavens no.
assumed from your battle-ready attire that was the plan, but
Oh,
if indeed...
no, I was, like I said, subcontracting out this job for you.
Indeed. Then Maury still has the information, correct?
He knows that I mean, well, I've already told you that it's a little bit of a ruse. I need you to go hunt down a creature, not collect alchemical reagents.
Right, but the location of this creature, or at least a general direction.
No, I haven't given that to you, but I can give you the map that I know where the creature resides. If I can give you directions there.
Did we discuss payment yet?
No, you had not. At the
I
time.
think we could probably do that.
I think that
Okay.
would be important to my companions.
Okay. Absolutely, I understand that. So, would you also like to know the thing you're fighting?
I mean, if the money's right, I don't really care.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. For slaying the beast, I'm prepared to give you all 150 gold pieces for it. All you need to do is provide me a piece of... Well, I prefer the tail spikes if you can, but a head will suffice too.
Does
Or
that,
a
That gives me an idea.
yeah, does that spark anything in my head?
Sure, nature checks. Everyone can that's listening into this conversation.
I would have just gotten there.
Okay.
So if you want me to, I can.
You can if you want, but I mean, Shirley, you and Maury both know that tail spikes monster that's worth hunting down. You gather that this is probably a manticore.
I was gonna say, I feel like me and Maury just kind of look at each other like, that's why it's 150 gold.
Seems like a fair price. Plus, if
Huh.
you said you need a spike or a head,
If you can get me the actual one set of the barbs and the spikes off the tail, that would be perfect.
I
Or
think
the head, whatever is intact. Honestly.
How about the whole body? We have a-
My clientele doesn't need. They just need proof.
They just
don't-
need proof.
They don't need an actual trophy, if that's what you're wondering.
And if that's all you need, you wouldn't mind if we take the other parts of the beast that may be worth money and sell those somewhere else.
Yeah, it's your own prerogative. I would be fine with that.
Might increase our profits a little bit.
Yeah, to each their own. If you're skilled and adept at, carving up and harvesting the pieces that you need without destroying half of it.
Where would we find you after we slay this beast?
I mean, I am traveling up to the city, up to Nulgrim, so you can find me there. I do plan on taking up residence in one of the local taverns there, so I'm sure I'll make my presence known to you.
Right.
I'll expect you in the next few days.
Any other questions, Red?
I think that'll suffice. What? Do you know what district you'll be in?
I'll probably be in Middle Nulgrim, personally.
All right.
Don't want to hang out with the
We will-
foofy types. Don't want to get involved with all the degenerates that are down in the lower.
We shall seek you there.
Sounds good. Oh, and by the way, and she like takes up and like draws out some directions in a map, kind of generally of where to look.
Okay.
And based on some major landmarks and stuff like that, you have she kind of describes to you the cave that this particular beast is known to live in.
Okay. And we did get a long rest, right?
Yes, you did. You did get a long
Okay.
rest. You guys did
I
sit
just-
through the night.
Wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Sweet.
No problem.
So do we head out, Red?
I was gonna say, if everyone's ready,
I'm gonna
I
look at my
After
water's
last night,
getting
I'd love to.
milk.
we gotta refill the water skin.
a
Yeah,
milk
you-
skin.
know what?
It's not even a water skin anymore. If you put water in there, ooh, it's gonna be a bad
You
day.
know what?
and
I'm gonna go real quick, DM, if I can, to the counter,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be like, look, my friend over here really likes milk. I don't understand why, but do you have any fresh milk for him?
I think we got some fresh stuff in here. Yeah, I can take care of that for him. No problem.
Give me the biggest bottle or whatever that you have, because he
mean-
drinks that shit up like no one's business.
I mean, I've got a jug. It holds about 10 gallons.
Fill it up. Fill that jug up.
I mean, I haven't even not cracked it open. If you want to just take it, it's a little heavy.
I'll take it.
Okay. And he goes out to the back, and you can hear it like, and you see him kind of carrying over his shoulder a 10-gallon milk jug over his shoulder as he kind of like waddles out with it and just. Silver.
She'll hand him a silver. She'll actually hand him 2 silver. There you go.
Oh, thank you kindly.
She takes the giant jug and she walks over to Timmick, and it's probably as big as Timmick.
Strength check.
Here. Okay.
It's a 10-gallon jug of milk.
18.
18. You can drag it.
16 plus 2.
You can drag it.
Okay.
Does it look like I can fit it in the bag of holding?
Yeah, you
Just
probably
take the
could.
bag and like
Yeah.
Yeah,
down
I
on the
deliver
top.
it. Just-
Yep. So you can mark down in that container. You can make a custom item of a 10-gallon jug of milk.
Here we go.
Timmick, this is my gift to you.
what is it?
It's a 10-gallon jug of milk. Just
Is
for
it
you.
fresh?
It is fresh.
Huh. It's a metal jug?
Is it a metal jug?
Yeah, it's a metal jug.
How long is it going to stay fresh for?
I don't know.
No, hopefully not
But
too
you-
long.
I thought sure he was gonna cast heat metal on it. I was like, oh,
I was thinking about it. I don't want to waste a spell slot.
not yet, right? Oh,
Here
okay.
you go. Have fun.
Does it have like a nozzle I can fill my water skin up with?
It does. It has a little nozzle at the bottom that if you wanted to fill it up with, you can.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna taste
Okay.
it. Does it actually taste fresh?
It's fresh. It's the freshest. It's straight from the cow's teat.
Your favorite. Well, second favorite after the cottage cheese.
I mean, there's still some chunks at the bottom of the water skin, so like it kind of makes a nice little slurry.
Well, I'm sure it's not 1% milk.
Oh,
Oh, it's whole
Buttermilk.
milk. If you wait long enough, yeah, exactly. You might be able to make butter. Just shake it around enough and.
So I think we're ready to go. We got Timmick his milk. We have everything we need.
or indeed, we have a map. and I'll hold up, or at least general directions.
Yeah.
And a mouse. And I show my mouse.
Oh, great.
Look, Timmick. Look how cute he is. I named him Sir Squinkington.
Hey, Shirley,
And I
Maury,
put
when
him-
do you guys get little pets to keep around your chest area?
We have dogs at home.
Ah,
I have a different kind of pet, and I kind of just look at Juliet.
Oh,
Don't
that
even
was
pay
in
attention.
character. Oh,
Don't even pay attention to that. Like, 'cause I'm just positioning my mouse in, like, my chest area.
there we go.
So what are you wearing? Are you wearing the ball gown or are you wearing your normal adventuring attire?
I'm wearing my normal adventuring attire, not the ball
Okay.
gown.
All right.
are you taking that ball gown with you?
It's in the bag of holding.
Takes a bag of holding.
Safe.
First, I'm gonna take my ball gown. We might go to a fancy establishment. I can't
No.
be dressed like this.
Something bad happens every time.
I mean, at some point, you guys will have to come to court. So, and I kind of look at
I
Timmick
didn't-
like,
I didn't even do anything last night. Okay,
That's
I might
something
have
that
wasn't
lost
even-
her.
You were there.
I was there. You were there too. It could have been
I was
you.
outside.
Well, close enough. You were close enough to the theater, and your energy got on it.
all right, let us went.
All right, and
All right.
you guys went. With that said, you guys begin your travel. You do recognize, based on looking at the map and kind of the general directions that you need to go, it is going to take you probably the better part of most of the day to get to this particular location.
Okay.
So I am going to need, back to our little travel mechanic. I need to have. What are you guys doing to get there? Are you guys scouting? What are you guys doing in order to get there? Be creative. I can even see a situation where if you wanted to use a proficiency in Arcana, that it could work if you wanted to kind of finagle that as well. So the world is your oyster. As long as you get the right number of
Okay.
successes, you're all good.
I want to make sure the horse is on the carriage and going the right way.
Hamish and
I'm next
Dougal
to
are
Timmick.
Hamish and Dougal kind of like, okay, man. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check. 21. Oh yeah,
Nice.
you got them directed in the right area. They're paying attention. They surprisingly are paying attention despite being dumb as rocks. But they follow your lead and they kind of like okay, kind of continue their way along. So that's one success.
I am going to recite a sort of poem
Okay.
about like a battle and how that like through that particular hero's like knowledge of like the land or whatever, to kind of like remind myself of like, okay, how does, like hills fall and flow and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna use performance for that.
Yeah. I'll say that you can kind of rally your companions as you guys kind of continue to roll through these hillsides and through the general rough kind of forest that you kind of, it's not really a thick forest, but it's like some plains and stuff like that. And there are some areas where the trees get thicker and you are able to kind of rally everyone, even when like you guys walk through some of the sludgier areas that's kind of like near a swamp, kind of a small little bog that you guys kind of make your way through. And with a 23, that is another success.
I will try to go in front of our travel and clear the path a little bit, moving big logs out of the way, or any rocks that may have fallen, or anything that's in our way. Trying to help keep our path clear so that we can keep our pace going.
Absolutely. Give me an athletics check. With a 19, you are able to move across. You actually do find at one point that there is a couple rather. It gets very rocky in a couple places, and you're able to kind of move a couple of the different boulders and stuff like that. And you are able to make sure that like at least most of the ground is kind of well suited for your cart. You guys are taking the cart, so it is well suited for the cart as you guys kind of continue your way forth. That is another success. And Juliet.
I am making sure that my party members are okay and just, just checking up on them and making sure that like Timmick he's drinking enough milk. And
okay.
Red is okay, and Maury is, not hurt or anything.
Okay.
With all the lifting and stuff.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Okay. That is 13 plus 1, so 14.
Okay, 14. That is another success. You are able to kind of, continue as Maury's doing kind of some of the heavy lifting and stuff like that. You check up on him, make sure he's doing okay. He's fine. Shirley is doing okay, and Timmick is able to kind of still control the horses. You make sure that he stays hydrated because he is concentrating, but you make sure that he gets his favorite drink. And you guys are able to actually not have any delays in your travel, and you guys are able to make it to the mouth of this cave. As you begin to approach, you can see that this cave has a very narrow kind of opening from the exterior. It's actually kind of almost set into like a small little like hovel that it almost looks like it's been dug out or something like that, and it's like kind of not like in an open field. It's like in a kind of a more wooded area, but it's almost like it's been dug out, and this like little cave is definitely relatively natural to an extent, I guess is the best way you could put it. But you guys right now are at the exterior of this cave, and it does fit the description that Anon gave to you.
I have a quick question. With my vision, can I see anything in it? Just kind of peering in. I'm not walking in. I'm just like outside peering through.
As you kind of, let's see here. As you kind of look in and try to see if you can't peer through, it is dark, but with your dark vision, you are able to kind of see in. It goes in pretty deep. Like the darkness kind of travels quite a ways, and it's hard to really make out anything. You see a couple of rocks and boulders, but it's really hard to kind of necessarily pick out anything specific.
I think we found our place, guys. It's dark and spooky and perfect place where a manticore would live.
I was going to say the perfect place for a beast.
So what would you guys like to do?
You ready for this?
I think so.
I'm gonna summon my sword.
Okay, you go ahead and summon your sword. Is there anything else you guys would like to do to prepare before you guys head in?
So I was going to say we have the lantern, right? We should probably light that.
You can
I
absolutely
can't see in the dark.
That's important. So you can absolutely light the lantern. So it does give you, like I said, 30 feet of bright light and 30 feet of dim light. So that's going to be very, very helpful. 30. Okay. So you're able to turn on your hooded lantern. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before you guys jump in there?
How far in? How far did the cave seem like it went in?
It went further off from Juliet's dark vision, but with the light, you can actually see a little bit more detail. You can actually see that. Oh, hold on. There we go. You can actually see from where you guys are standing. You can actually see there's a few different boulders. You can actually see what appears to be a couple of like man-made tools or something like in the side corner, but that's all you can really see from where you're standing. You have to get a little bit closer.
Alrighty. Also, what does so I'm going to basically explain to everybody how enhance ability works, like in the party, and then I'm just going to ask if does anybody want or need, because I can give you Cat's Grace, advantage on dexterity checks, Owl's Wisdom, like perception, that sort of thing. Do we think we need
Well, if we're trying to sneak in a little bit, I might need a little extra help being sneaky.
Okay. Then that is what I will do. I will cast Enhance Ability on Morharon. And I'll do Cat's Grace.
Okay. You do Cat's Grace, so you now have advantage on dexterity checks, and you cannot take damage from falling 20 feet or less if you are not... There's another specific thing. But basically, if you fall 20 feet, you're fine.
Right.
All right. And then I would normally lead the way, but since I don't have dark vision, I'm going to keep the lantern low and let somebody who can see in the dark go. So
you're going to keep it at its low light level?
Yeah, I think that'd be good until we find what we're looking for.
Okay.
And then let either Juliet or Timic lead us.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't have a problem leading. Maury, do you mind if I lead?
I'll be right behind you.
She'll lead us right to trouble.
Okay.
You are so mean.
So what's the marching order here?
Juliet, me,
Oh,
Timic Red.
yeah, I was going to say, I'll bring up the rear.
Okay. You'll bring up the rear. Okay. All right. So, Julia, as you begin to enter this cave, you can see kind of in the back of the chamber, you actually see this rather, as you kind of go in, it doesn't go too much further in past your original dark vision, and as you kind of enter in the cave, you can actually see the vague kind of outline and shape of a fairly large, almost lion-like looking creature. It's a creature with these very large looking wings, this giant mane that kind of surrounds its almost humanoid but beastly looking mouth and face, with this lion-like body and these kind of giant tail spikes that kind of like dance around the back. It is currently at this point laying down. Are you guys sneaking in?
Trying to.
Trying to?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me stealth checks.
Okay. 17 plus 2, so 19.
Okay. Okay. As you guys kind of make your way in, it does as you guys kind of all walk in your her marching order. It doesn't notice you, Julia, as you begin to kind of make your way in. But you, Morharon, as you're kind of meandering your way in, you do actually at one point step on and kick a couple rocks, and it kind of like is alerted to your presence. And it's at this point you guys actually also see another one of these beasts, but much smaller, sitting kind of right next to it, and it kind of perks up, and it just kind of instinctually like puts its hand in front of its one of its claws in front of it and just and yeah, we're gonna fight. So I'm gonna have you guys roll initiative, and I'll push you guys over there here in 1 second. Oh shoot, what happened? Oh boy. There we go.
Fixing.
I'm fixing things. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna have you all roll initiative.
I got a 16. 14 plus 2.
Okay. And I will push
We
you
just
guys all
killed a
there.
baby one?
I will push you guys all there in 1 second.
You guys are gonna have to like control my character.
Oh, I got you.
Okey-doke.
Thank you.
Can you guys not see the combat tracker right now where you are?
I can see it, but I can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I can't
Okay,
roll.
maybe if I push you over to the right scene, you'll be able to do something about it.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. Because it says no active encounter.
Oh. I just pushed you all there, but it didn't...
Yeah, it says loading for me. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, okay. It still hasn't pushed you guys yet.
Keep working on it. The bar's going up.
Gosh, dang it.
So I'm at 30%.
Ah, Timic.
Mine is not. Mine says this site can't be reached.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Let's bring you guys all back to the landing page and see if I can make it do it again.
Now I'm at 30% on that page.
Oh, sick. Oh, yeah, you're not even on here anymore. All right, I guess I'm kiting all of you.
Right. Well, I can go over to this if it doesn't load here. I can go over to the stream and watch from there.
Yeah, let me see if I can't also... I think I might be able to... Oh, wait, no. If I do that, then it's going to mess up all the cameras. Yeah, try to go over to the stream and see if you can't... I'll try to keep the map at a distance that you guys can all see what's going on to make our lives easier. There we go.
Sorry, guys at home. Joy of
Sorry,
live
everyone at
streaming.
home. Technical difficulties in live streaming. Gotta love it, right?
Gonna say. Looks like it's
Can't
no.
it failed?
That's weird, because like, everything on my... Like, I don't know why it's doing that to you guys. That's weird. Huh.
Fail for the background layer. See the console for more details.
Alright, that's weird.
I'll just keep trying to.
Oh, wait, did that... Somebody just popped in.
Yeah, it's kind of loading for me. Slowly. I just have a big grid with no details on it.
Okay. Pull to scene. All right, we're just gonna kind of. Can everybody see the stream at least?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay,
Here.
cool. So we'll get started. I'll roll for you guys in here.
I think I can still roll.
All right, so we will start off our combat here with Timic. What would you like to do as we kind of start off the combat encounter? You currently are behind Maury and Juliet. You
far away?
actually, from your vantage point, you should be able to... from your vantage point, you can actually see both of the creatures. They are in dim light for you, but from your distance, you can actually see that the closest enemy to you is 45 feet away from you.
Okay. I am going to... Is that the big one?
The big one is the closest one to you, yep.
Alright, I'm going to cast Moonbeam on it
Alright, you
Oh,
cast Moonbeam on
dang.
it.
and then move up 25 feet towards it.
Okay. So 25 feet in a straight line should get you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, that's 25. And then you cast Moonbeam on it. So click Moonbeam on your thing. It should create like a... Oh, wait, can you even see the map still?
I can't see the map, but I can still see my sheet and stuff.
Okay, I think I can do it for you, so that way it'll show up on the map. Hold on. Prepared. Moonbeam. Cast spell. What's cool about Moonbeam is that you can actually put it right on the creature.
Yep.
So it's actually behind it. If I move the creature out of the way, there's actually a little effect there. So you're doing, so your first roll is 18, so it's going to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Well, it's when it starts its turn.
Oh, it's when it starts its turn? Okay.
Well, when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time, does that count casting it?
This is always the fun thing with this spell, right? Arrow for the first time or starts its turn there. So we'll say that, oh yeah, this is what, okay. So we'll say when it starts its turn, it'll either take the damage or whatever the case may be on that one. Because I remember we had this problem with
Yeah.
in our home game, so. So Moonbeam is up, but it's centered on the creature.
I got back in, by the way.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, good. I can see everyone's in here now. That's good. Anything else in your turn, Timic?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. Brings us to Morharon.
Oh wait, I still have a bonus action, right?
Oh yeah, you still have a bonus action. Yep.
I'll just put Shillelagh on my staff.
Okay. Shillelagh is on your staff. All right. Yep, brings us to Morharon.
Let me see if I can move myself. I don't know if I can.
You should be able to.
I'll it's not letting me for some reason, but I'll move within 20 feet. Oh, there we go.
Haha, there it is.
Yeah, it's good enough. From there, I will do my breath weapon at both of them.
Okay. It's a, what is your breath weapon? Is it a 20-foot cone, or how does it work?
30-foot long line. So
30-foot long line. That's how wide?
5.
5. So you probably couldn't get both of them because it's a 5-foot line, based on what I'm seeing here. Because it's technically only in this space right here, so you would technically, it's not lined up right here, it's over here, so you would only get the one.
Alright, but it put its armor in the baby, so that's what I was like banking on.
Yeah.
That's about as close as I can get anyway, so it's a deck save by yeah, we'll go for the adult.
Okay. Deck save. That's gonna be a 5.
That'll fail.
All right.
I'm getting
So roll your poison damage. I will remake your breath weapon in there at some point. So 7 points of, what is it, acid damage?
acid, yes.
Acid damage.
And then at 20 feet, I will use my bonus action to chuck a hand axe at it.
Okay, go ahead and check your hand axe. 24 definitely hits for 10 slashing damage.
And that will be it for me.
All right. Brings us to the baby. The baby somehow was faster than Mama. It is going to... it is actually going to fire out its tail spike at you, Timic, being that you're the closest to it. So it's going to attack you 3 times. First one's going to be a 4 to hit.
Miss.
Next one's going to be a 4 to hit.
Miss.
Okay, so I know you guys can't see this, but it rolled a 4, or it rolled a natural 1 and a total 20, and then it rolled 2 natural 1s in a row.
Nice.
And the last one's an 8.
Woo!
So
It is a baby.
Tail spikes flinging out at you do nothing. They all just kind of land harmlessly behind you, and they all kind of just, yeah, nothing happens, which is great for you. All right. Ending its turn, it's just going to stay behind Mama. Brings us to Juliet.
I'm going to kind of get out of its like line of sight, and
Okay.
I'm going to cast Witch Bolt at it.
Witch Bolt's a 30-foot range, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Okay, well I'm gonna get in range, but not. Does that make sense?
You
I
can
can't see
try.
anything right
I know you can't. There's not really a great place for you to hide in here. You can get within 30 feet and not be like up next to your party members if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to be up close by it, so that way it can't just like
Yeah,
One
I'll
hit
put you
me
30
real
feet
quick.
away from it. If I can figure out what 30 feet is on this map. Yeah, I can put you 30 feet away from it so you're within range of Witch Bolt.
and that's gonna be 2d10. I mean, I'm sorry, 2d12 actually.
Is there a save?
think it's
A beam of crackling blue.
Roll to
Yeah, a
hit.
beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards a creature, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack. So that's my bad. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So go ahead and roll d20 plus your spell attack modifier.
Okay. So that should. Let me find my spell attack modifier. You know, it would be easier if you just rolled for me.
Yeah, I probably should just do that, right? So I'll go ahead and roll for you.
That way I'll find it.
Witch Bolt, cast spell, bang. So it's gonna be a 25 to hit, which will definitely hit the
Okay,
creature. And it deals 15 lightning damage.
Oof, nice.
Yeah, you must have rolled really well.
And
Yeah, 4 and 11. Yep. So now that link of that electrical energy kind of sprouts out from you and actually creates this chain of lightning that connects you to the creature.
And as long as I keep concentration on it, I can do that each round
Yep.
without redoing my spell slot.
Absolutely.
Let's
you
go.
can. All right, brings us to Shirley. Shirley, you are at the mouth of the cave in the darkness.
All
By
right,
yourself.
so first thing I'm gonna do is,
If you click on your token, you can see nothing.
yeah, I was gonna say, so I'm gonna shout for Morharan to open up the lantern, and then I'm just gonna run 30 feet forward and hopefully not run into anybody,
Sure.
or wherever
Yeah,
30
you-
feet is.
30 feet was, yeah, right there, I think. Hold on, let me double check.
So,
I'm currently selecting you, so I can't see. I can't see anything. It's great. It won't let me take off of you. Oh, that's why. There we go. Yeah, that was 5, 10, 15, 20. That was 25, so you can actually move up one more.
okay, so I almost run into Timmick.
You almost run into Timmick.
All right. And then, let's see. Can I see if I can do anything? I think everything I have relies on sight. Yeah, so I gotta see it for that. I will cast Heroism on Morharan.
Okay. Morhan, you are immune to being frightened, and you gain temporary hit points equal to the spellcasting ability modifier, which for you, I believe, is plus 3. So you get 3 temporary hit points, Mori. And you are immune to being frightened.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da.
And then, as my bonus action, I'll pat Timmick on the shoulder and be like, "Go get him, buddy."
How long does that last?
And that's my bardic inspiration. So
Oh, okay. So you, Timmick, have a D6 Bardic Inspiration dice. All right. That will bring us to Mama. Mama takes that damage, which, by the way, she had succeeded on her save, so I believe it's half damage. Yeah, so let me find what it was, because you rolled 18. Oh, I'm going to take the 18 you rolled before, so don't worry about that. So it's going to be 9 points of damage.
Oh, I rolled 18 damage before?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
When I rolled your moonbeam for you.
All right. I'm in the screen now, so I can see everything.
Good, perfect. So she takes the 9 damage. She will now... her best bet... she is going to try to defend her young, so she is going to move up here out of the moonbeam. And she is going to attack you, Timmick, because you're the one that caused the most damage, I think. Sure. So first one's going to be a bite coming at you. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, that's 7 points of damage. And then she's going to claw at you twice. It's going to be a 9 to hit and a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Okay. That's going to be 10 points of slashing damage to you. As she kind of comes in and just like slashes away at you, trying to protect her young. And then that's going to end her turn. Yeah, I need a couple of... Yep. So Moonbeam is gone. Yep, Moonbeam's gone. All right. And that's gonna bring us to back up to you, Timmick.
I will use my action to use my symbiotic entity.
Okay. And what does that look like?
I just have spores floating around me.
Okay.
Too tired to be creative.
That's okay.
And since that takes an action, I can't really do anything else.
Yeah. What does that symbiotic entity do, just to refresh my memory?
16 temporary hit points, double damage dice for my Halo spores, and an extra 1d6 poison damage when I hit with my melee weapon.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Brings us to Maury.
Right, I'm gonna walk. Being Timmick's right there, I'm gonna run up to the creature, try to flank. Do I have enough distance to flank the two? I still can't see the thing on the map, so.
You have enough distance to get to the other side of this creature if you wanted to flank up here.
All right, so I will flank and. I'll actually.
14 is going to hit, so it's going to be 11 bludgeoning damage.
And I will actually.
It's looking pretty hurt.
I'm actually going to add 4 more damage to it using one of my superiorities.
Okay.
And then I will throw. That will be just a flat roll now.
Yep.
So,
But of course you crit, but your crit roll
Nice.
is not that great. The crit roll is only a 6 plus a 1, so I mean it's still 7 damage.
and then I will actually go ahead and seeing the position we're in, I will use my action surge.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
See if I can do it again. No, but it still hits.
22 hits for 9 bludgeoning damage. It is on the brink of death.
And an extra 4.
How do you want to do this?
I want to, knowing that I need to save certain parts of this, I will try to crush the ribs and swinging with my maul. So, hit whatever with the maul, throw it back, and then just back around my head and try to crush the chest in, knowing that I want to save that head and those wings and that tail spikes.
Yeah, and you're able to do that. You're able to, after you smash it with the maul and you throw the hand axe, you see that it's begun to falter a little bit. It's kind of just barely kind of hanging on. And that's when you come in with that big final crack in with the mace. And you just continue to whack, and at this point, you can hear and feel the ribs kind of cracking underneath your maul as you kind of crush into it, as it slowly but surely lays down the ground, unmoving, and it is no more.
All right, and I'll just kind of turn around to face the little baby and prepare for whatever's going to happen next.
All right, that's going to bring us to the baby. The baby, seeing you just slaughter its mother, is going to come up and try to take care of you. try. So it's gonna go for a bite attack.
Why do I feel so bad for this baby?
It's a 19 to hit.
Don't feel bad for the little monster-faced baby.
Does a 19 hit?
That hits, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my vengeful assault on
Okay.
it.
It does 7 points of damage to you, which I just put in for you. And then your vengeful assault, it looks like you can do some kind of crazy shenanigans where you do another attack.
I'll just attack it, but it'll be just a straight attack because
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
pointing it.
23 definitely hits for 11 damage.
So that'll be it for me. Reaction.
Okay. And then it is going to go ahead and try to claw at you. It's going to be a 7 to hit
Nope.
and a 22 to hit
No hit.
for a total of 2 slashing damage.
Right.
And that's going to end its turn. Juliet, your connection with Witch Bolt is no longer there.
Correct. So I'm just going to cast Eldritch Blast.
All right, go ahead and cast your Eldritch Blast, which I will do for you because you can't do it. Yes. That's going to be a 22 to hit for 8 points of damage. How do you want to kill this baby manticore?
Like, I do it because, like, I'm looking at my party, I'm like, and I know it's going to become a monster one day, so I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I have to do this. So I gather my energy, and I just aim kind of for the same area that Maury did earlier with the bomb. I just aim for the stomach area, or just, like, the rib area, I mean.
Okay, and you see this flash of red energy kind of extend from your hand, and it makes its impact, and the baby is no more.
I'm so sorry. I kind of walk up to it and just like, why do I feel like such a monster?
So, I think we need to try and harvest as many of these parts as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch the baby. You guys can do what you guys are gonna do. I can't.
I'll go ahead and start trying to do a little bit here.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'll assist by giving some inspiration. Like, yeah, it's a good job. I think if you just cut it right there.
Okay. Are you proficient in nature, Morharon?
I am not proficient in nature.
Okay. What about survival?
I have high survival, but not proficient.
Okay. Is there anybody in the party that is proficient in either of those two skills?
I'm proficient
You are?
in survival.
Okay.
Nope.
You can take the roll with it. It's a straight roll for you.
For me,
Which thing are you trying to harvest right now?
I'm standing in front of the baby, so I'll try to harvest the, whatever parts I think would be good. So, wings, head, tail.
Okay. All right, so with a 9 plus 5 is a 14. So you were able to actually harvest the small. I mean, normally a manticore has a large number of these different kind of thorny barbs that are on its tail. This baby, using 3 of them, only has like 4 left. So you are able to kind of harvest what's left of the tail. If you want to, you can also you could literally pick this thing up if you really wanted to.
No,
And carry it with you.
I don't think I'll. What do you guys think? Do you think we need to take the whole, this whole thing back? Do you think that might, maybe it's worth some money? What do you think?
Might have been worth some money alive.
I was gonna say I probably not in its current state, the baby. And for Juliet's sake, I think we'll leave that here.
All right, so
Maybe
I'll
you can
just
make like a hat out of it.
I'll just take the parts then, and I'll also, if possible, go collect the 3 that it shot and completely missed with.
Yep.
Anybody else
easily
want
do
to
that.
try and break down that big fella?
I can try.
Okay. Juliet, I will let you make this check at advantage.
Okay. So survival, correct?
Yep.
Okay. 21, and then let me see if I can get a crit. Nope, so 21.
Okay, so you are able to, with a 21, you are able to harvest the entirety of the tail barb. You have the ability, if you'd like to also harvest the head. You actually, being fairly decently versed in this creature, you know where you could probably cut its head off if you wanted to harvest it yourself. But that's up to you at this point.
Yeah, I'll do it to the big manticore. Like, I just won't touch the little one because
Okay.
she
And
just feels really bad about that.
Yeah, it takes some time, but you are able to kind of slowly carve into and cut through the different pieces of bone and muscle and tissue. Some blood kind of gets on you a little bit. It takes a little while. It's a gruesome process, but you are able to harvest both the head and the tail with the barbs for this creature. Shirley, Timmick, is there anything else you guys are doing?
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on the entrance, and like I can't. Well, with the lantern up, I can see a little bit more, but just kind of like watching the edges of the darkness to make sure.
Go ahead. Actually, with watching the edges of the darkness, you can actually see off in the distance. There's kind of a small little pile of what looks to be a number of different tools and some other knickknacks and stuff like that. It looks like this, and actually, you do get a little bit of a shine as you're kind of looking over. As a result of the lantern kind of shining in this darkness.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take and like. Well, I guess if this thing's dead and we're not sneaking too much, I'll light up a torch and head over there, check it out.
Yeah. You go ahead and examine. You actually find mixed in with a number of different tools and articles of clothing. You actually find there is a fairly large pile of various coins and gems and amongst other things. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'll be like,
it seems like this thing was hoarding stuff for whatever reason. Like it.
Hey, Maury, you want to bring that bag over here, and I'll kind of like put the torch down to the pile.
Yeah, sure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over and open the bag.
In this pile, you can eventually count this all out, but you find 1,300 copper pieces.
Ooh.
1,700 gold, 1,700 silver pieces.
Nice.
80 gold pieces.
Nice.
9 gems, which go ahead and give me a straight intelligence check.
All right.
Need to send some there or not?
Yeah, sure. Based on your checks, you think would be probably worth at least 50 gold pieces each to the right to if you brought it to a jeweler of some sort.
Nice.
So there's 9 of those gems worth about 50 gold pieces each. You also do find a random potion of healing here for whatever reason. You're not 100% sure. And you see a couple other things. Like you see there's like some general kind of worn looking armor that's just some like kind of general leathers and stuff like that. You also see a broom, a couple shovels, and just a couple and various other knickknacks. But the broom itself, though, kind of looks strange. It doesn't. It's not that it's a broom. It's just that it looks like it's very well polished and fancy and looks fairly nice.
I was gonna say I would take everything, like even like the shovels and stuff, because you know somebody could use them.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take the couple shovels as well. And you also have a really nice looking fancy broom.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I imagine
You also-
at this point, like, oh, sorry, go.
As you pick up the broom, you can actually see there's like some scrawling inscription in a language. What languages do you know?
I speak Dwarvish and Giant.
Okay.
Oh.
It's in a language that you do not understand.
I got Common Draconic Abyssal Deep Speech Infernal.
It is in Draconic.
It says.
You see in Draconic written the word rise.
And that's on what?
It's on the handle of the broom.
So I would just communicate that to. I'll see Red looking at it and be like, that's in my tongue right there. It says, rise.
Okay. Like, I'll hand it to him. Like, if I mean it's in Draconic, so I don't know what.
So I'll take it from him and just look at it a little closer and be like, yeah, no, it says rise.
Okay.
At this point, I feel like Julia just comes like around the corner, like, thanks for the help, guys, and just like carrying the head.
Like I'll just point at the bag. Like,
We had
oh, you can't see what's in the bag. Okay.
Yeah, no, she can't see what's in the bag.
we had some more important matters to take care of. We just made ourselves quite a pretty penny.
I'm covered in blood.
Prestidigitation.
You are no longer covered in blood.
Oh, thank God. Feels good.
That comes in far more handy than I thought when I was learning it.
Oh, Fred, you have been a lifesaver with that thing.
Quite a bit.
What'd you guys find?
Spoils. Well,
Lots of money
More importantly,
and a shovel.
cool. Can we get out of this thing, or do we need to stay here more?
no, I think we can probably leave at this point.
Good. Here's the head. Do what you gotta do with it.
I'll grab it.
Yep.
Okay. After all this, where to next, guys? Where do you guys like to go?
Bed.
I was gonna say, I think
For the sake of brevity, if you guys are going to go back to Deer Meadow, you guys can and acquire a room, and you guys can head to for a night's rest if you would like.
Aren't we heading
Yeah.
to the next town though? Isn't that where she
Well, I mean, that's up to you guys. Like we had a week roughly, I figured, to get there. So if we want to spend another comfortable night in Deer Meadow instead of camping out, on the road,
Sure.
we can do that.
I have a dress I have to pick up from there. I already prepaid for it.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sure we can find somebody there to. We'll save enough to take to Anon Kim, but I'm sure we can sell some of this other stuff in Deer Meadow.
Quite
I'll
possibly.
cast gentle repose on the manticore's head so it doesn't start to rot in whoever's holding its bag.
Smart.
Oh God, can you imagine a zombie manticore just like coming out of the bag? That would be horrible.
Just
That
like
would
its
be
head.
horrible.
Oh no, thank you.
That would be horrible. You guys are able to gather up the spoils and make your way back to Deer Meadow, where you check in with Tormir. He is able to give you guys another set of rooms, and you guys are able to bed down for the night. And that, everyone, is actually where we are going to stop this evening. So we shall pick up again next week and see where our group of adventurers decide to go next. And maybe they'll go to Nilgrim. Maybe they will do something else, but we'll find out. So I want to thank you guys. Like I said, just to kind of wrap up, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, we have a lot of the, you guys can check out all the stuff that they got going on, and that it would be Ashley and Ben on their respective YouTubes and social media sites. There should be links down in the chat. Now, actually, guys, if you don't mind, just throw them in the chat one more time, just to kind of help everyone else out there. We also have a Discord that you guys can come in and talk about different conspiracy theories. You can talk about anything else D&D, get some player help, DM help, all that kind of cool stuff. Link for that's going to be down in the cards down below as well. Also, if you guys are interested in coaching lessons, we do offer one-on-one coaching lessons. That is also linked down below, as well as the gear that we use to do this stream, as well as just some general book recommendations and all that kind of stuff. Anything that you guys actually purchase on those things actually does help the channel out a little bit, so we appreciate that, full disclosure there. So I hope you guys have a good time, or I hope you guys had a good time. You stayed with us to the end if you did. I want you guys to have a good night, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye now.
Thanks a lot. See ya.
You guys.